My name is Chris Big Money, originally from Orlando, Florida. I've been in Austin, Texas since 2013. Original member of Feedback Alliance, producer, songwriter, internet cat wrangler, and I rap about cats, and that's kind of moved over to anime and nerdy shit. But yeah, and I make my original music.
State your name, gangster. Jesus. Do this. Try to never do podcasts in this room again.
Okay.
Note taken. Just drive to your place. Just drive.
Just be a mobile podcast guy, huh?
Well, it is. Go through the podcast things to see. The last one was in a patio. Like outside.
That's right. Yeah,
shit.
that's right.
Outside always sucks because it's always sunset, so it's changing color.
There's always wind and shit.
There was wind in that one too, but I was like, whatever.
Right.
Let's just say more stuff.
I mean, you should maybe consider doing a podcast. Maybe you should podcast at the next Imaginary Stereo showcase coming up.
You know how loud it is?
Was that really loud?
No. You know how loud it is at IS? You know what I mean?
No shit. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you could do a live at Imaginary Stereo, be like one of those cheesy Radio 1 guys or something, you know?
Oh, yeah, do the little baby clips and stuff.
Yeah.
I drove to Dallas and I did a 20-minute podcast in Deep Ellum once. Yeah, it was sort of like what you were just saying, like doing that because it was his album release party. So yeah,
Deep Ellum. Wow, it's fancy.
Do you know what that is? Or?
Yeah, I've been there before.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw Perfume there a few months ago at the Bomb Factory.
Oh yeah. They have a lot of famous acts come through.
Yeah, they bring a lot of awesome bands there. But yeah, for some reason the Japanese bands love Dallas. So
did it really come through like that?
Not as much as a couple bands. Yeah. But yeah, no, I drove up there to see Perfume about a few months ago back in April. I've been there for other shows too, like metal concerts. Oh, it looks good. I mean, I kind of look like I'm staring down at the mic, but do I used to just look forward the whole time?
You do whatever you want, man.
I know, it's a podcast.
It's all yours, man. It's all you.
Are you doing
I'm
audio?
probably going to put all this in it now. Like everything now that once we start talking about Dallas and stuff, it's all going in there. Unless you don't want it.
Just let it in there. Whatever. I don't give a shit.
That natural start. I like some of those.
All right, cool. That. So you're going to put it in the audio, so you can find it on Spotify and like the podcast app and all this things? All right, cool.
Like what you just did when you got here.
Like
it'll be both. The videos on the YouTube.
To the aLrboosh.
And you should too. One person who's watching.
Yeah.
But even though we started, you ready to start?
I've been ready to start.
All right, my bad. I wasn't ready, even though I invited you. Podcasts and stuff. We just started. Boom. Yeah.
It's done.
Who am I here with today?
My name is Chris Big Money, originally from Orlando, Florida. I've been in Austin, Texas since 2013. Original member of Feedback Alliance, producer, songwriter, internet cat wrangler, and I rap about cats, and that's kind of moved over to anime and nerdy shit. But yeah, and I make my original music.
State your name, gangster. Jesus. Dude, I was
you
were like a military person who just got kidnapped, like and all they say is those three things, so that and then nothing else,
I think I kept it under a minute though. It's a good elevator pitch,
You ready, man?
Yeah.
How many times have you used that?
I've rehearsed it to myself probably 100 times, but probably
you're like 100 times on me.
I've rehearsed it for me, but other people maybe about 20. I've lost count. I honestly don't know.
You should use that as a pickup line.
Oh yeah, this is more like a scarecrow line because that's when they walk away. It's like, oh fuck this guy.
Let me tell you something. But if they don't walk away, that's probably the one.
That's the one. That's when you know it's real.
Yeah, but when she doesn't walk away.
Yeah, when she doesn't walk away. That's the deal breaker question.
That's a meme right there.
Yeah. And you ask the girl, do you like cat wrangling?
Yeah.
You like anime? When you bring those things up, because those are the kind of topics that dominate conversations once you bring them up. You make music, or you
that's
like
gonna
weird
be our
shit.
Collab. Cat wrangling.
Bring it. Yeah, I think it's a relevant
about
topic.
Finding the girl who likes cat wrangling and anime.
Yeah, or who's watched Cat Planet Cuties,
So I found a girl who likes anime, right?
Okay.
But even though I was responsible in some weird, I'm not really responsible, but I am because I made everything happen.
Sure.
So I'm taking credit for all of it.
Of course.
So for him meeting her, but he had a thing for her, and I don't necessarily like her, but I ended up inadvertently not necessarily hitting up on her, but I ended up getting her number.
Yeah.
And her Instagram right in front of him. But I wasn't even aiming for that. I'm just trying to have new friends that are outside the music scene because I feel like all my Austin friends currently are music people. So I'm like, I think I need some not music friends there too, just to change some of my course. But anyway, he didn't talk to me for 8 days after that.
For 8 days? But he talked to you again, though.
He talked to me on Monday when Spider-Man came out. So I got him a ticket.
But he started the conversation with you. That's important.
He did start the conversation.
I have people that wouldn't talk to me for like months, like if I bring up the wrong thing. So I feel that.
Yeah. That was the second time he did that to me. I don't think you met this girl, but I had a little thing with this girl around March, April-ish. I told you I had a little sadness before. I told you one of the messages that we had. But anyway, when I was first meeting her, I took her to see Captain Marvel, even though I was supposed to go with him. But I gave him 5 days notice, and he didn't talk to me for a week after that.
And this because you took the girl to see Captain Marvel?
Yeah. And I was like, come on, dude. Like I gave you 5 days notice, and like, anyway,
you probably went to Alamo or somewhere like that where it was like all classy and you had
to Alamo.
You had a bunch of you had people in there, so it's not like you could have gone down on in the movie theater. I mean, you have to go to like an abandoned movie, like a movie that's been out for at least a few months if you're gonna be Alanis Morissette and go down on her in the theater. You know?
I ain't trying to do that. I just wanted to see Captain Marvel. That's all. I just wanted to see
opening night. I get it. I'm the same way.
Same thing. Spider-Man opening night. Like for the Marvel movies, I got to, man. I got to. Everything else.
Day after is fine with me, but no, I hear you though. You got to be where the real fans are.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I know people that want to wait like weeks for a movie's been out. Man, fuck that. There's other movies I don't want to go see.
For me, not so much.
Yeah.
At least not in the theater. At least not in the theater. Everything's on a wait and see basis. But those movies have like a crowd enhancement factor. You know, that when you watch it with that excited crowd, you know. It's a bigger thrill, you know?
Right? That's how it was with Endgame, for sure. That was like peak crowd excitement, huh?
Infinity War too, man.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of the sadness. It's such a different tone than most movies.
Yeah, I can't snap my fingers, but yeah, the snap. Yep, you got it.
It was that was a great day, man.
I remember I was at Flix when I saw it, and then for Infinity War.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about what happens in the movie. I was just talking about where the guy was walking around with a box of Kleenex.
There you go.
Like walking down the aisles. Hey, you need
this. Did he really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it wasn't wrong. There's people who was sad.
Yeah. Or that part, I saw another movie like that, Mr. Rogers, the documentary in Alamo, like when that came out.
I saw that at home, but it's good.
There was Kleenex outside the movie theater. Couple boxes right there. Bang. You know, you got to be ready for this shit. But yeah, with Endgame. Some real feels right there.
I saw Infinity War a few times in theaters. One of the times I took my mom, and my mom only likes good guys winning. And towards the end of that movie, she was like hitting the chair thing, you know, whatever you put your arm on.
Yeah.
And she was like, "What is this?" And then like at the end when Thanos just sits on the throne and smiles like he said he was, like called his Babe Ruth shot. And the credits started, and she was like, "What the hell is this?" She's like 78 too, so it's just like funny.
Well, the movie was clearly meant with what is it? The other movie, Endgame, in mind. It was like a 2-part movie. Yeah, kind of like they did that with a lot of the big movie, like Twilight and Harry Potter and Hunger Games, a couple of those like young adult movies where they would split the final movie into 2 movies. For like climatic effect or just to milk more money at the box office or both. Yeah. But no, it's that they straight up did that with Marvel too.
But that was just a great movie. You don't get to see too many movies where the bad guy gets to do his thing. And that was a good one. Like I when I heard 2 movies gonna come out like many years ago when they were both called Infinity War 1 and 2 at the time of announcement, I assumed Thanos is gonna get 3 gems in the first one. He's gonna get 3 gems by the second half of the second one and the good guys win. You know like
yeah.
But like around when they're on Vormir, he gets the Soul Stone,
right?
And person gets thrown off. I was like, oh shit, I think we doing this today. I get the chills right now. I just feel the goosebumps on my face right now.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, we doing this shit today, I think. So like, my man ain't playing games. Like, we doing this shit today. I was like,
you better get my money right now, Freddie. Or I'm gonna have your wife on Whore's Row tonight.
And then he goes to his planet, whatever his planet's called, can't remember. Titan, you know, like, and then he goes to Titan, takes that, yo, and then he does like, man, yo, I got all the time in the world, and he kills the homie for the second time with the pluck.
Time. Yep, that's right.
That's fucked up, dude. I was like, yo, we in there, dude.
Yeah.
And then he did this. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I was like, because I never thought we would see that like on film. So I was like, for people who like the who have heard like the comic book story, I think that was like a good day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you saw Spider-Man yet. That movie's amazing, I saw it too. Shit.
Yeah. Oh man, big reveals at the end though.
That was amazing too.
I've never actually seen if that's actually been carried out. Like if that got
more
out.
Spoilers in case.
Yeah, if that got if that what we're talking about happened, like how would that actually be transpired into a movie? Or
was more end credit 1 or 2?
End credit 2.
Okay.
Yeah, the big fish.
It's funny because I think most people care about end credit 1. 2 is more important for the next phase of Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like next phase of Marvel gonna be a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
With all those rumors of the Eternals getting movies and all that shit,
yep.
So.
Or like the sword thing is gonna become like the space.
What's that? What are you talking about?
I'm not big on the Marvel comics. I like the comics, but I just haven't done as much reading into them as a lot of people have. But the sword, where they're in outer space, and Nick Fury was in space and all that.
Yeah.
And he had the space base with the Kree from Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I wonder if they're going to expand.
That's called a sword.
I think that's what it is, or there's probably another word for it. I'm fucking it up, but
no, it might be that. I just really don't remember.
If you remember when Nick Fury, like, when at the end of
Spider-Man, no, I remember. I just don't remember the name. Sword, like that's why I don't remember.
Marvel Space Base.
Marvel Space.
Yeah, where he's out in outer space running shit.
Yeah. I just appreciate it. Scene 1 though. I didn't expect that dude to reprise his role.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's the one I meant. Yeah, okay. with the legendary reprise.
Yeah. That's the one most people care about. Part 2 is more important for like what's gonna happen later.
He killed it in the video game too.
Oh, yo, I've only seen it on Twitch. The new. Oh, you talking about the old?
I'm talking about the PS4 Spider-Man game.
Oh, the new one. Yeah, no, that game looks hard.
Game was amazing.
Yeah,
I played the whole damn thing.
I would have played it. If I played it, like it looked pretty awesome.
All I did was play video games. It was so fun just streaming through the web, like through the city on New York with the webs, and the mechanics were great.
And it had a lot of the classic suits too.
Yeah, they had more than that. They had the vintage suits from the comics, but they also had a bunch of futuristic Spider-Mans. They had the web arms, and they kind of played this in the movie a little bit too. Like where he takes the selfie, like towards the end of the movie, where he's got his cell phone just zipping through the city Spider-Man style. Takes a little selfie, and you see that's like a shot from the video game. A little nod you'll see in little Easter eggs for you.
So yo, we've been telling we doing a lot of Marvel talk, but you sort of answered about my accent. Who is Chris Big Money? Who is CBM?
Do I need to repeat this again?
You just gonna do the one-to-one sentence? All right. So then, I was afraid you were gonna counter with that. So then, how did it start?
All right. I started making music. I wanted to. I came.
They're synonymous, music and the alias,
They're not entirely synonymous. They are. I mean,
that's even the right word. I don't know.
Yeah,
it sounds cool.
It kind of came up. Basically, like I came from a metal background. I was raised in the metal. Like my parents were into it. I grew up in the metal scene. I was involved in the scene for a long time, like in Florida, and I wanted a way to express myself outside of. At the time, I didn't have a car. I was busy in college. I was in a job. I didn't really have the time to either go to a band space or just collaboratively get along with other players. It was just something I was really struggled with. So I learned about some kids making music on Fruity Loops, and it was for reggaeton music and film music. Shit. Yeah, so in Florida it was huge.
Reggaeton and film.
Yeah, no, it was weird because
they're so close to each other.
I lived in Florida like my whole life pretty much, and Latin music is huge, especially reggaeton, and it's very popular in Florida. But eventually, like in college, I started doing film music, and I studied digital media. I wanted to do graphics for films and stuff.
Dude,
Originally,
our collab's gonna be a reggaeton song. I'm Puerto Rican.
I'm in. Yeah, I'm in.
It'll be reggaeton.
I'm in 100.
Anime.
Actually, I have a song on my Spotify called "Money Moomba," which is the Moomba tone thing, which happened. It actually has got one of my better played songs. So I think I did an okay Moomba tone.
We'll play
song.
That when we turn everything back on.
You don't have to. But no, it was a good song. It was kind of a fillerish kind of song, but I think it's one that's a little underrated. I should probably like dust off the cobwebs and play it in my next show.
Back. I was gonna say that.
Yeah. Or more 108 BPM. I think that kind of faded. It was in and out like in 2011, and then kind of dropped by 2012 once trap music came around. But yeah, for a minute, all the EDM DJs were all into the 108 beats per minute. The boom. Yeah. And all that, and just add like a dirty Dutch lead or whatever. There you go. And that whole story, you're familiar with the origin story, or at least of what the Moomba tone was, like how it was discovered by accident by a DJ who forgot to bring the right songs to a party?
Nah.
It was this guy. I don't know how true this was. That's why I read back in the day, though. I think I used to write a music blog, and I'd written a whole short essay.
I think I might have heard of
like
it, but I don't remember
or whatever.
I might have heard that when Moombathon was being talked about. Yeah, a long time ago.
A 2-minute or 2-second, really brief. This guy is going to a Latin party, and that's the music he normally spun, but he didn't have his Latin music selection on his CDs, so he had all his house music CDs. So he's like, shit, he didn't have time to go back. He just played the songs at 108 beats per minute. And then the kids were really into it by the end of it. And he was like, oh, shit, I'm on to something. Then he went back and started doing edits at 108 beats per minute. And Moomba Tone was born.
I've heard that. But I heard that way back in the day. When
it was very far. But that's how long I've been making music.
I don't remember what I was going to say, so keep going.
Well, I guess getting back to like the origin story, like I got a hacked copy of Fruity Loops off a demo, and I started making songs.
Didn't we all start there?
Yep, I started off a hack copy of Fruity Loops, and I used to push I did some theater classes in college where I had to paint an entire set of a theater production of Little Shop of Horrors, and I handed out my mixtapes, like little CDRs.
Street hustler.
Yeah, I would push my music onto people, with the CDRs, and some people told me I was good. Some just total strangers. Other people did. Actually, no, I got a pretty favorable response for the time back in like 2006. And then I don't think, maybe 2007, 2008. I don't think I got a little more serious like after like 2008, 2009. I just decided, that's what I want to do. And I want to put out more albums. And I want to see how far I can go with this. And I like the idea of creating songs and coming up with all kinds of wild ass ideas and putting them out in the format that'll surpass me when I die. So it's just something that I stuck with. And eventually my whole social circle started to revolve around it. And so, but yeah, that's the origin story of Chris Big Money. The name came from, I was working at a restaurant. I was working at Don Pablo's, which is a Tex-Mex place in Florida. They went bankrupt after a year, but I was a busboy and I was bussing tables, and that's the name Chris Big Money. My real name's Christopher Brian Moore, so CBM, Chris Big Money, because I didn't have no fucking money. So that's the origin story, and that's basically
manifest.
That's the meaning of the name. Is that idea? That's why Chris Big Money is Chris Big Money.
How does this happen? Where I guess everybody knows you at your job by CBM.
All right, this is actually a pretty funny story. So, doing the typical mixtape pushing thing.
Oh, for real?
Fuck yeah!
Damn,
what I do
even at your professional job now?
Fuck yeah! If you're passionate about
hustling
every day. No, I was out handing out CDRs to my coworkers, and
even now in this age?
Huh?
Even now in this age, or is that just where it came from?
That was back in the day, when I first started my job. And I work in a high-end like sales kind of job, large company. And there's a lot of people in our age group, like I guess some of them early 20s all the way to like 30s or 40s. But, people that I think it wouldn't get hurt, to throw a CD at them and see what they responded. It was worth a shot.
I think if I threw one at them, they would respond to it.
Or they would just throw it away or throw it back at me, or maybe one or two people listen to it, But anyway, no, I did this, and I did one I used to call Black Friday Bangers, and I used to just like 3-track little mixtape of songs I had made. Yeah. And what happened was some guy was dating some girl who I handed a CD to.
Shout out to some guy. Let's go.
Yeah, that dude the dude passed out the girl gave the guy the CD, and then that I ended up getting promoted at my job, and my new manager was, the manager of this guy who handed him, my manager, my CD. And he's like, Kits, he went by name Kits, you got to listen to this. And it's like, and then my manager heard of it. He heard Kitty Cat Swag, and he loved it. It was surprising, because it's one of those things in the job space. Nowadays, it's maybe not so much of a big thing, but back then I was kind of worried about negative perception, or if I can get fired for having tracks of profanity on it.
Yeah.
Things like that. Or, you wouldn't want to show your parents. You wouldn't want to show your coworkers either.
By the time you're doing that, are you here or are you in Orlando?
I was in Austin, Texas at this time. When
I just feel I'm new to living here, even though it's not new
right
for me, but I feel like from enough people I've met, like, it just seemed like you can get away with being freer here, than maybe like
Orlando. Yeah, Florida's actually a very conservative place, because a lot of old people go there to retire. There's a lot of military expats that go there, and then
it just seemed like no matter how professional the job is, you can still kind of be a version of yourself.
Yeah. Right. So in Austin, the way I kind of act and present myself, and I tell people where I work, it's like, he's a software developer is the first thing people think.
Yeah.
So, or like I'm in the game industry or something, or I look like a professional streamer, or, some kind of like
damn, you look like
developer.
You get that? A professional? You look like a professional?
Sometimes.
What does one look like? Like, I guess like you, right?
I definitely get that question a lot, where I work and all that. But no, after that, it's just kind of like the conversation goes south from there. But but yeah, I guess some of the story requires a little bit of context, which I may have forgotten to add in there. But yeah, this is in Austin, and let me see. I handed out to my manager, and then I guess we do a lot of. In my job, there's a lot of micromanagement and reporting that goes on with just sales numbers, revenue, quotas, margin, things like that. The shit that you hear
stuff,
about,
baby.
Yeah, analytical stuff that people this podcast really don't give a shit about, but we hear it every day.
There's one guy who wants to make money. Everybody else doesn't.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, but no, because Chris is such a common name, they just started putting CBM on all the reports, and
oh shit.
And eventually, I just became known around the whole sales floor of about 200 people as CBM, and then my sales managers and all that, like the big dogs, found out CBM, and they found out about my music, and I got to play my sales manager's 8-year-old birthday party. Yeah, last year I had to go all the way up to Lake Tahoe. Yeah, very fancy kind of shit. But I was like, and now I get to do DJ gigs for my job.
That's the beauty of putting yourself out there.
Yeah, all this happened because I gave a bunch of people my mixtape.
See, like, I feel like I'm kind of learning how to do that. Maybe since like last November, like kind of, I don't know if to the max is the right, but like definitely more. And they're like in almost all the situations I want now, just cause like I rather like die being me than live not being me. If that makes sense.
You've heard the phrase, "I'd rather die on my feet than be living on my knees," right?
Nah, but I guess that was the more poetic way to say what I just said.
That's like a biblical quote. I just know it from a Soulfly song from when I was in the metal. But
shout out to Soulfly.
Yeah, Soulfly, some good ass bands. Sepultura was good too. I actually saw Soulfly a couple times too, and it was some good shit. Yeah, oh man, I can go on and on about metal music. You want to bring that up in the podcast, but yeah, I can talk for hours about when it comes to this shit.
We'll get there.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, that's the CBM origin story. So bottom line, hand out your mixtapes. Tell people to check out your SoundCloud. They may not always respond to you. They may not always look at you favorably, but every now and then you will get some traction off it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
It's 2019 though. Tell them to get it on the Spotify app.
Oh yeah, check that shit out. aLrboosh on Spotify.
There you go. Yeah.
And then Chris Big Money. No weird spellings, no missing vowels, none of that hipster bullshit. Just Chris Big Money.
Straight cash, homie. Chris.
Straight cash. Or on Nintendo, it's CBM just with $4 signs after it.
Damn.
Yeah, or CBM Swag Kittens on PlayStation.
Damn. Yeah. Let's go.
But okay, keep going.
Go. That's how you get that .001.
That's another problem. Yeah, get the 0.0001. But at shows, this is something that I always like. I've been told this by multiple people, but I'm gonna cascade it again. Always tell people who your name is when you're playing a show. At least 3 times.
That's tech. I don't know if we did that when we used to play.
Yeah.
Maybe my rapper did. I didn't.
Yeah.
So I wasn't the front.
Always plug your mixtape. Someone will notice it at some point.
Damn, there's a Boosh Kids mixtape. It's the only quote unquote release we ever did.
Where can I find it?
Probably at this point, maybe just my YouTube. If you go to my SoundCloud, there's probably only one song on my SoundCloud. Like it needs to be re-uploaded. But if you go on my SoundCloud, there actually might be a link to download it though. Oh, for real? Okay. Yeah. So even though it's not on the SoundCloud, there's a link to download it. It's like a full like one long a zip. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh no, and it's cut up into tracks too. But it's not out on the real stuff because when we played live, I would play a mix of my music and not my music because a lot of us were freestyling anyway. Right. So it was just cool to have that. Yeah, that's pretty raw. Fun. So what were these tracks you put out? Like all the shit you put out like last year? You did like a series of like little EPs. I did. Yeah, 5 albums. Yeah, what's up with this? It's all old shit that was all used to be on SoundCloud. But I was like, man, dude, like we started making music before Spotify and stuff was as easy as it is now. That I only had like 5 songs on Spotify. I'm like, this is stupid. I made like 50. Like, why don't I have 50 songs on Spotify? Yeah. So I just put them out, and I just quote unquote put them out like it's a 2018 album. At the end of this, even though most of that shit is way older, you know, especially if you hear some of it, you know. Like, but yeah, no, that's it. It was, what were the albums called? Sound of Clouds, because it was a SoundCloud music. Right. Yeah. That's a very creative name. Yeah. With a picture of clouds there. But is it cloud rap music or? No, it was just songs that were on my SoundCloud. It was supposed to be it Sound of Clout. No, you know we ain't as creative as you, dog. Nah. But it was supposed to be Sound of Clouds Volume 1 through like 4, right? But then I ended up changing all of them to themes. So number 2 is Into the Sunrise, right? Because it had the quote unquote EDMist music on there. Because there was a legendary before Tiesto was always commercial, but right. But there was a time when he was quality commercial, and he had a series number 1 through 8, I think. Or definitely 7, In Search of Sunrise. So just that title is kind of a tribute to that series. That being said, he sold it like a brand, and then 9 through like 14 have been by other DJs. Yeah, but other DJs have followed suit or vice versa in the meantime. But. Yeah, no, but like that was like in that time when trance was like meaningful to like EDM people. Yeah, like that was like a meaningful series, and there would be like a lot of people who show up on an album who never showed up again because it was probably just famous people using a one-off alias just for that album, Sometimes. So you would never know. Or just people that never were able to get back traction enough to get back on Tiesto's radar. But yeah, but then you Google some of those names, they ain't get traction on no one's radar. It just doesn't exist. They're just like one-off aliases. Right. Oh yeah, number 3 is called I Rap because it's songs with rappers on it. Okay. But are you rapping on it? On 4 of them, but those are like the first 4 songs I ever rapped on, including the first one, which is literally the first time I rap in a song. So my friend he committed suicide, and then like I can't remember which came first, but I think I wrote some lyrics for some reason, and then I was like, oh yeah, I make beats, like I should just rap on it. And then like 2 weeks later, yeah, I had that song, and you could tell I'm just starting, but it was just cool. It was a cool tribute, and it's like a lot of memories in there between us. And then the other 3 are, I think 2 of them were better. You can see the improvement. Then the 4th one, I don't know. Sometimes the roller coaster goes down it. Sure. Yeah. But honestly, it's been so long since those tracks that now I've been doing stuff daily that I know when I rap again, it's gonna be a killer, dude. And you got them bars just loaded up, stocked and ready, huh? So it's just like Mans is ready, dude. Mans is ready. The Mans is ready. Mans not hot. Yeah, I got a beat called Man's Not Warm because it was originally a remix to Man's Not Hot. So on YouTube it has his vocal, but I can't release that. Yeah, I mean I could, but I can't. So that used to be on SoundCloud. Like yeah. The thing goes pop 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 pop. I forgot that. I've done if you check out my live sets. But I've done the few ones that I did once the group was done. there's two mashups that are at with that are that and some wave music that makes that track sound pretty hard, man.
Some wave music?
You European wave music. So wave music, I gotta explain this correctly. I think last time I explained it in a way involving like race and stuff, I ended up like deleting it. But like, cause it just like I was showing it to my homie today. Like he's one of the close things I have to a best friend. Knew him since first grade. So we both grew up in Bronx, New York. And I'm showing him. He's like, I showed him some beats, and then he's like, yo, you should show me some wave shit. You was talking about wave this and that. He's hearing this shit. He's like, dude, this shit just sound like trap. I was like, I know it does. Because it's just, what if people in Europe used Fruity Loops? That's it. Like that's the main difference. Like, imagine like just Europeans using it and not black people from Atlanta.
We like to party.
No, but like so you still get the same thing, but not really. Like obviously there's more stuff. They're more open to the electronicness that's going on in the electronic scene.
Sure.
And other things if you want to dive deeper. But then but if you just listen bluntly, still trap, hi-hat, snare. So it's like it's not hip hop, but it's hip hop-ish because now everything is hip hop-ish.
So it's kind of like a grime feel to it then.
No, because grime had, especially the classic grime sound, will have that like kind of like that movement vibe.
Right.
Because it's kind of fun. Like so, like Giggs is a grime rapper,
Yeah.
But you go hear his albums, I'm like, yo, musically, not verbally, but musically, he sound like he from here, yo.
Yeah, it's like trap music.
Yeah, he sound like he from here. But you go hear
once you hear his lyrics.
P Money. Like P Money to this day still sound like he from over there. He might be more commercially now than his past, or Wiley, like they still sound like they from over there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But musically, yo, Giggs, he quickly was like, yo, I'm trying to make it America, dog. Man,
good luck.
I love Giggs. But I don't like Giggs. He on one of his newer albums, he has a track called Spun It. That track goes hard. So if Giggs on a hard beat, I'll mess with Giggs. But I love Giggs because he's one of these dudes, he refined his style, but I love making fun of it, but I really do like him. Because Giggs, yo, he takes spaces, yo. Giggs takes spaces. He's like, man's just walking. Man's just talking. Man's just doing this. Man's just doing that. Man's get excited, right? Man's just going that. Man's about to bust real. Man's just doing that. He's always doing spaces. And then he likes doing this roller coaster go up. Then we going down. And then he restarts the cycle,
Is that how his voice sounds too?
Yeah.
Wow,
it's like it's always deep and stuff, but like, and then in between all the spaces, like there's the same ad-libs. Like it's like like that's a today rapper thing where they got their ad-libs that.
Oh, I got him on some of my new stuff too.
But I mean, like, and maybe you do this too, but like they don't have just ad-libs for the song. They have the ad-libs for like their life. Like so like
ad-libs for your life.
Yeah, but the same way like if Rick Ross is on a track, you're always gonna hear the Huss or Lil Wayne. Like the firelighter before he goes to rap. Yeah. It's like the announcement. It's like the spotlight. Like this is Wayne. So like a lot of the rappers, like whether it be the most obvious one, the Migos. Yeah. But I'm just saying. So like it don't matter what Giggs track I play you're gonna hear him. It sound like he nutting or some shit, like where he's constipated. Yeah. But you're gonna hear like the same ad-libs all the time, except for if he repeats a word or something.
Right.
But a lot of times, you're gonna just hear like the normal Giggs. So in between all the spaces that. But yeah, he just has like the space, and it's just like, damn, son. And it's kind of funny because like you're doing the same thing all the time, but like he's refined it because he's doing the same thing all the time.
But you instantly know who he is.
Yeah. So it's kind of like
that's an identity.
Good and bad. Yeah, it's kind of good. It's good. It's good.
Next goal. All right, come up with your own ad-libs for life.
Yeah, same thing. Rick Ross, all the people, man, they all got it. Yeah.
Oh, I love that one. I can't think of any of what the Migos ones were, but
they also have a lot of hunts. They have That Way. Yeah. Mama! I don't know why they do that, but shout out to Mama.
Yeah.
That Way. Yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of just random stuff.
Well, but yeah, it's just kind of whatever the lyrics are, and then
that too. But there's also they got a lot of. Then they'll recycle stuff that got popular for them. That like always remember that, like never forget. Right. So they'll something from the past you bring it up in an ad-lib,
Mm-hmm. Or it's like a reaction to the lyrics of what you said, some crazy bar or something.
Oh no, I mean literally like don't forget like yo we made this song, you know, like that you like too, so you sneak that in, but you sneak it in via an ad lib, you know. So, but I don't even remember what my original thing was where I was going.
Talking about origin stories, we talked about, you know, how you asked me how I became known as CBM at my
now
job.
you're going way back. I just meant like I probably had like a point, but to some of it
we talked about ad-libbing and, ad-libbing for your life.
We don't need a point.
Yep. Nah, this is the podcast.
I've heard this before, but obviously it has been here. And we keep jumping back and forth. So how does man like Chris make the jump from Orlando to here? To Austin.
All right. Yeah, so in 2012, I graduated UCF, University of Central Florida.
Yeah.
Went to digital media study that. I switched majors to marketing and communications at UCF. And I wanted to learn
all this. I'm like, I ain't try it all. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, I wanted to learn how to promote myself better. And I was, for a while, from like 2008 to 2013, I didn't play any video games. Now I'm addicted to them. But before that, I was super serious.
Reverse trajectory.
Yeah, I was serious about this music stuff. But anyway, no, I decided to move to Austin. I think I had heard about some of my teachers at the time talking about South by Southwest, and that kind of sparked my interest in it. And I actually waited till after South by Southwest ended before I moved to Austin because it was easier to find rooms that way when people had left. But and then I started researching. I watched a movie called Slacker.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith.
I know. I need to rewatch it.
Inspiration movie.
I need to rewatch it. But it was one of those movies and Austin is totally not like this anymore. But it was just the idea of it kind of sold me. And seeing the bats and, there's shows every week or every day.
This movie. I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's a classic. It's like an early 90s like cult film.
Yeah, but inspired Kevin Smith. That's why I said Kevin Smith.
Yeah, so you knew what it was.
Yeah. I know what it is tremendously. I just never seen it.
But yeah, it's definitely stuff of legend. And I highly recommend it. I actually kind of want to rewatch it. But like I said, I saw AFS actually tweet about it recently, which kind of brought it into my limelight again. But like the movie theater here, and I actually commented on them and they liked my comment, but I don't know if they'll actually bring it to the movie theater. That would be baller if they did it off a Facebook comment. But
you could always bring it yourself if they don't like at a draft house.
Really? You can do that?
Yeah,
I can go buy a DVD.
Does that all the time.
Do they play it?
And yeah, you're responsible for depending on how you do it, like if you want to like sell the tickets yourself or just like you just pay to have the showing, you know. But
that's expensive.
Well, yeah. But I mean, I'm just saying you can make it happen.
Make it happen on a weird Wednesday.
Yeah, my friend did it for something that I cannot say here.
Wow.
I don't think it was legal for what they showed.
Oh, well, really? That's fucking cool. Then.
Well, I can tell you.
Was it like a hentai movie or something?
No, it's not hentai. That's legal.
That's legal.
But nah, he used to do it for.
Oh, like all of them at once?
No, like if let's say season, whatever, but the season opener and the season ending, but I guess it's illegal to do that. So they would do it,
copyright,
but they just couldn't advertise it. But he would still sell it out. So it was
But how would they even get word about the movie screenings? Just word of mouth, or?
So this guy, he's in the scene. So he he's doing it in San Antonio, but like he was just very tapped into an art scene that it's just easy. You can just literally work.
And Alamo Draft House?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, man.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'll just blurt out the name.
That's cool. That's another thing I love. That's what I love about Austin is that they're open to stuff like that. Florida is not open to any of this, and like in Austin, you can be a little more free. Like how we talked about the job situation, with me being worried about negative perceptions of my music, you can do that here in Austin. And at the time, like I wasn't aware about gentrification and tech bros moving in from California, fucking up the Austin vibe or any of that stuff, or the whole keep Austin.
Are you worried about those things now?
I certainly am. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as people still go to our shows, right?
Well, are they going to our shows? That's another debate.
Like they go to one of our shows and never come back.
Would any of that make you move from Austin? Like as someone who moved here to become himself, would any of that make you move from Austin?
Definitely.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be like things that I don't think I'm fully ready to talk about yet, but just the idea of always looking for the next thing, always wanting to always wanting to progress. I guess the best analogy I received once was like, you've gained all the experience you can from this dungeon. You need to go to a higher level dungeon.
Someone likes the video games.
Yeah. And now I was thinking Diablo or something at the time. You go to like a level 3 dungeon. No, you need to go to that level 5 dungeon now. You need to get up there to where you can...
I'm going to interrupt that important statement that you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I texted a friend... I like to text them usually like covers of horrible movies. The cover wasn't horrible, but I just thought the title of this anime was amazing.
Bring it.
It was where the hell is
now you're speaking my language.
Okay, here it is. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Yeah.
I was like, what? That's an anime? And then there was a movie, so it's actually called "Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Arrow of the Orion." And I was like, whoa, that's just serious.
They're putting out another season too this year. I think it comes out like this summer. And maybe
also, have you seen this?
No, I haven't watched it yet. It's been on my radar though.
Is it about dating? Is it implies?
Well, that's another thing. I mean, that's a whole other topic. But with anime, it's very culturally rooted in like,
There are dating anime, so it can be about dating. But I'm just curious if that one specifically.
I haven't watched it yet.
Are we picking up girls in a dungeon? Are we maybe military? And we like, we going on the journey, the struggle, and you're like, man, I kind of like this girl, but I don't know. We're on an RPG quest. Is this the right time? But maybe it is the right time because the world might end if we don't do our hero thing right. So,
It sounds like an isekai show, though. Or like Sword Art Online or something else. Like one of those, like, it's a whole genre of anime where people go and escape into another world and they get trapped, kind of labyrinth where you get lost into like another world or like something.
Recreators.
Yeah, like kind of like Sword Art Online, Hack Sign, That's it's actually the most popular genre of modern anime at this time. It is like
anime bars, let's go.
Yeah, like Konosuba and Rising of the Shield Hero and then Overlord, Sword Art Online. These are all like really popular shows. Yeah, that people watch. That they're all about the same. Or that time I got reincarnated as a slime, I watched most of that. But that became like a really deep show about war and stuff. But it was an isekai show or isekai, however you pronounce it. But about the idea of being sucked into another world. You live a mundane existence as like an average, usually it's like a socially aloof otaku guy or something that,
would you count like a hero anime like Bleach about that? Because he spends a lot of time in the other world.
That's different. That's more of like they're going into a spiritual world. It's not like he's trapped in that world. Yeah, that's what the isekai thing is about, is being trapped in that world and not being able to get out. And then having to make life all over again in that new world. No Game, No Life is the same thing. But yeah, with Bleach or shows like My Hero Academia and all, those are considered
shows. Yeah, but they ain't going to no new world in My Hero. That's why I missed that one.
Yeah, I love My Hero.
I like it too. I just kind of wish I hadn't started till it was done like 5 years ago.
Right.
Or 5 years later or 10 years later, whatever it takes.
Season 4 is about to come out in August.
Yeah, I ain't trying to watch a season, dude. I need it all now. I don't especially now in my older age, like, the more I learn, grow, and a thing, like, my input data makes things, like, I react differently with all that time gap, I become a different person. It's like Doctor Who and shit. So, like, by the time I get the rest of it, I'm like, I don't even care no more. I think Attack on Titan is a good example of this. Because, man, I remember Attack on Titan Season 1. I thought that shit was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
But I think what happens, right, when you have that big a time gap, like, two things happen. That whole growth thing that I just told you about. But then, even from anime standpoint, everybody else who's like, yo, this anime is good, we should steal all these ideas and use them for ourselves. So by the time you come out with Season 2, what you were doing of innovative for your time period is not, because everybody and their mama caught up, but you're still doing the same thing.
And they bitch your shit.
Yeah. So I just caught up on Attack on Titan.
I haven't fully caught up yet. I got
Where are you?
I'm on Season 3 to a part right where Rob Rice with his Titan. And then Historia.
Rob Rice?
Historia's father.
Okay. So are you near the end of Season 3?
No, I'm probably towards the middle. I haven't fully finished watching it yet. I've been playing too many video games, actually.
I got you. So
I started another anime called...
I gotta say, it's baby spoiler, not for you, but for everyone.
Yeah.
I think one of the most ludicrous ideas is that when I watch Season 2 of Attack on Titan, and you kidnap the protagonist,
yep,
and then Season 3 starts, and you kidnap the protagonist again. I was like, yo, who the fuck's writing this show? Well,
his fucking character deserves
You guys are wild.
Eren Yeager is a deadpan protagonist anyway.
He sucks a lot.
He sucks major.
There's other stuff I could say for later that I can't say because you ain't caught up. But like, he sucks, man. Like I noticed. So like, see what I'm saying?
Give
like,
me a week. I'll probably try to finish it by the end of the week.
Now that I'm like older, you know, maybe it's a little bit easier to tell what I want. And I was like, you know what? Like, as stereotypical as it might be, I need the homie from My Hero Academia. You know, I need the homie who's gonna break his body to win.
Yeah,
like, just keep moving forward.
Izuku Midoriya.
Whatever. Midoriya. I need the homie Midoriya. Let's go. But I can't mess with this. I'm gonna call him Efren, whatever his name is. Eren. Yeah, fuck you, man. Like, that's some bullshit. Got all this power and like, I don't remember him being that much of a whiny bitch in season 1. He probably was. But
I take it you haven't seen Evangelion, have you?
Oh, I hate that show.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you did not like Shinji, because that's my all-time favorite show.
Yeah,
yeah. Who's worse, Eren Yeager or Shinji Ikari?
If I watched it now, I could give you, because that show, I don't like that show, but that's one of the things that I saw when I was younger. So I have vague memories, and I feel like I was just probably too young to understand what the hell's going on. That goes in the Akira factory.
Agreed.
It's like, I think I've seen that shit too young, so I don't really know what I watched. I just know there's a cool orange bike.
Yeah. Everyone turns into orange Tang.
Yeah. I never liked like Neon, and especially that ending. When they couldn't afford to produce it or whatever.
Yeah, and their studio was going under.
So they
and
keep remaking those last 2 episodes.
He got death threats over that, and then, End of Evangelion came out like a year or two later. And it won him all kinds of rewards.
Did you see One Punch Man yet?
I watched season 1. I dropped season 2 because I got lost interest in it. But
good for you.
Yeah.
Because I didn't drop it. like that shit's trash.
Yeah.
How far did you make it in season 2?
Maybe 1 episode. I just lost interest.
Yo, you like... And did you sense that already? Or did you like...
I just was interested in other shows.
Okay. See, but this is what I'm talking about. When you take that long, it shouldn't take that long. You shouldn't be having these games. And I know they had their little special money issues, and I guess different people made it. But like, I saw season 2. I was like, yo, this shit sucks, dude, because it's like a completely different anime. And I saw episode 1 of One Punch Man season 1 yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, like, I was just saying that shit because that's what I felt. But now that I like saw it, I was like, yo, season 2 is a completely different anime. And I was like, now I get it. Season 2 is a normal anime versus season 1 does whatever makes that shit special.
Yeah, it was basically a play on shonen tropes and how it was way too powerful and just kind of bored.
I call it like it's like a Deadpool for anime. You know what I mean? Like, it was just making fun of that.
Yeah.
But season 2 is world building, and like, have you seen 7 Deadly Sins?
No, I haven't watched that one.
Alright, so like, there's a thing that happened in Avengers too. Like like Hulk, he gets written out of Infinity War and Endgame essentially.
Right, yeah.
Cause he's fucking Hulk. He's too beast. And honestly, in those movies, even though I love MCU, they kind of like they found ways to just keep him over there. Cause cause some people are just gods if they act stupid, and he's one of them if they really made him like how he is.
Yeah.
But they always find a way to put the Hulk in the corner, And 7 Deadly Sins as a character too, like he's one of my favorite characters ever, yo. But essentially, he just gets stronger with the sun.
Yep.
So he's OP, but they always find ways to just not have him in this important fight because if he's there, there is no fight. You know what I mean?
Wreck your shit.
Yeah. So like, same thing happens in season 2 of One Punch Man. They're like, look, I know we had this character, whatever his name is. I'm gonna just call him One Punch Man. Like, I'm real bad with names. But they're like, so we're going to take this guy, we're going to put him here, and we're going to talk about all these other people. And I'm like, but that's not the show.
Oh.
The show's about this guy. Like, why don't we talk about
writing him out?
Yeah, and they just have him, like, play video games the whole time. I'm not even lying. They have him, like, play video games.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Nah, a show I did watch recently, I watched both of them, like, right away, so I loved it that much. It's Kakaguri on Netflix. This is the gambling show. Oh, man.
I haven't watched a gambling show.
Movies about gambling are always good. I've seen The Prestige. Now You See Me. Seen both of those. 21 was great. I saw The Gambler, but Kakaguri was an anime of this, and the stakes just kept getting higher and higher and higher.
I'm pull up the Googles.
Yeah, Yukiko Yumiko. I'm thinking Yukiko from Persona 4, but no, Yumiko.
Well, how you spell that one that you said you like?
Kakeegurui. Yeah, and it's a pretty popular manga series.
I've seen this,
but Netflix.
There, but I haven't watched. There's a gambling anime.
It's fucking
compulsive
good.
gambler. It even says it.
Yeah, it's some good shit. I highly recommend it. I watched Agretsuko recently as well, and all those.
Here. So one of my favorites from that style is Kaji. You seen Kaji?
No, I never heard of it.
Fuck, dude.
So flip that laptop around over here on me.
You like
Kaji
is hard, bro.
It looks like a shonen show. Or what kind of show is this?
It is gambling, but totally, I could totally see why you would get.
Is it like Dragon Ball with gambling, or?
Well, he's mad nervous all the time. He really just doesn't want to be there. He's just trying not to live his life, but he's addicted to gambling, so he can't help but not be there. So it's like a reverse Naruto. You know, instead of Naruto always want to go. It's like weird. He's like compulsive. Like he has to do it, but he's really scared out of his fucking mind. He's afraid he's gonna die.
I like that you're selling me on this.
Addiction. He knows the addiction.
I've been watching Welcome to the NHK.
This is explain. Hearing myself described, I was like, man, this is like me and food. Like I eat this horrible shit, but I don't want to, but I have to. I was like,
you know what? As brilliant Kaji, Kagi, I'm sold. All right, never even heard of it. Kagi.
The most important thing, at least for me, for Kaji, is this though. Does it have it here? I should just use the Google. What am I doing?
Yeah, Kakaguri is totally worth watching.
Dude, the soundtrack for Kaji.
That's the soundtrack.
That shit is hard, bro.
Did you see that Pitchfork did a review on the Legend of Zelda soundtrack the other day?
Nah.
First time they ever reviewed a video game soundtrack.
What? So the Legend is which one?
Ocarina of Time.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, of course. But no, but it's just kind of awesome that a music critic that does not do video game reviews that would actually cover that, and it just shows that it's a demand that people are wanting to hear more video game music. Like you see all the Final Fantasy soundtracks are on Spotify now. Yeah, so it's a big thing. It's just like trends. I feel like people are listening to a lot of soundtrack kind of music or stuff that's like background noise, like with lo-fi hip hop or classical music.
That is happening a lot.
Yeah, so these are all like more music that you kind of see as background music, but when you're doing something else.
Well, I feel like, man, this is gonna take us away from anime.
Sure.
So, but there's
keep
still
going.
one more thing I wanted to say.
Yeah, this Kaji show sounds like it'd be right up my alley.
Well, Kaji's amazing, but dude, I love the soundtrack to this. Here's another one. So this is the one like before Kage. They have nothing to do with each other, but one was made before, and this is Akagi. Also another gambling one. I can't remember this one as much because it didn't take me as much as Kaji.
Yeah.
I think he might be way more confident than the compulsive guy I was describing. Wow. But it's the same thing. It's a lot of life or death gambling.
Yep.
Like gangster shit, or whatever the Yakuza, there it is. But Hideki Tanuchi, right? If I'm saying that right?
Yeah.
He made the soundtrack for Kaji, right?
Oh, he did Death Note?
Yeah, that's his most famous. That's why people actually know him. They only know him because of Death Note. All the other animes are not as famous.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, to me, was going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
And his claim to fame, his stereotype, it's... So you heard that guitar that I was playing. I told you, like, I just kind of used that guitar forever once I made it. This like, same timbre I have.
Yeah.
But I kind of got the idea from that song. I mean, from his style, because I noticed his style of music. Yeah, he could do the basic composer stuff, but his primary thing was beats. But like beats with like guitars or beats with this, but it still have like that hip hop feel, but he's gonna have some guitar chunk in it. You know what I mean? But then he got caught smoking weed, and that's it. He just disappeared. Yeah. So his discography is just like 4 or 5 albums, and that's it. And I think he went to Berkeley School in Maine or whatever the fuck. And so like
he lived in Japan.
Yeah. Once he did this, but like, it looked like he was gonna be the shit. And like for me, at some points too, I like picking animes just based on composers. Sometimes, like Once I Like You, then I used to do that with Yoko Kanno for a minute.
What shows has he done?
Him?
I do this with voice actors. Like I follow a couple of voice actors and. Yeah.
Not too many. It's just
like I really like Johnny Young Bosch. He does
very small. It's very small.
No, this is attainable though. It's actually listenable. It's like it's not like overwhelming, but
yeah.
They're all like Aoi Bungaku is this about? Oh, short stories. Gyako Burai Kaji. Yeah, that Kaji show sounds like something right up my alley.
That shit has an awesome one called Money.
Oh, Hajime no Ippo, I've heard. It's like a boxing show, right? Yeah. I've seen that on Crunchyroll.
Well, yeah.
I have a guilty pleasure.
I think they made a new one of that.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of the new ones. It's like I haven't seen it, but I saw they have Grapple Baki on Netflix. But I saw the original years ago.
I watched the OVA on YouTube.
Was a thing?
Where he pulls out by the thread of his muscles.
Damn.
That is some savage shit.
I saw that so young, but that brings me some vague memories.
Yeah, I watched it. The OVA is on YouTube, so that's where I watched it. Yeah, I'd like to watch that show too. I actually like a lot of slice of life and romance shows, guilty pleasure, and sports anime.
So what makes you watch? Because me and my homie were the same guy I brought up before from first grade. We were talking, and it's like, it might be like, you know, so it's like I'm trying to like set this up so you see the attitudes of it. Basically, you grow up in New York in the area we did. Okay. Definitely see the world through a hip hop lens. You know, whether it's right or wrong, that's just how you see the world.
Sure.
So shit like that, naturally, we're not fucking with. Like I'd be more open to it now, like because I'm like more adult and open and
sure.
But you growing up, but a lot of my friends, especially the ones who still live there, they're like, the fuck is this? You know. Like, so like what allows you or lets you even try those things? Because I had a friend who was into that shit too, but like I know it's rare. It's rare for any dudes I know to be into that stuff.
A slice of life is more accessible. I think it's more of just a real life depiction of Japanese life, and especially with anime, is very culturally ingrained with modern society in Japan. So it's like a cultural lesson. Outside of, you know, the stories are good, or you kind of like the characters after a while, or it becomes, these are kind of things that kind of allowed me to watch shows like Fruits Basket, for example. I love that show.
What's that about?
It's about a girl who meets these guys who are magically part of the Chinese zodiac, where if she hugs one of them, they turn into animals. Like, literally.
How is this slice of life? I'm sorry. None of this sounds normal.
Well, it has a supernatural component to it, but it's about just regular living life. And, you know, no one really knows what the true definition
Would this be the argue? Because I've only never seen this show, but I love the title, The Devil Was a Part-Timer.
Oh, I love that show. I've watched it. Yes. It's about where Satan gets a job at McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's a great show.
The ultimate God punishment.
Yep. No, he did that. It was an isekai show as well, where he got escaped from his actual reality, and the real world is the alternate world in this case. And
welcome to real hell.
Yeah, and he has to make a life, and he wants to be the best manager at McDonald's. Is what they call it.
Be manager? Come on, that's not hell.
Yeah, he calls it. They had I love like an anime where you have like different names for products because you can't get clearance to use the actual names,
right? Or something.
McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh fuck!
Or
that sounds easy.
Yeah, there's a couple other ones in other shows, but yeah, Kentucky Fried Chicken and McDonald's.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I just love when they make up weird names like that, or Omazone, or Starbucks was one I saw in this show called Wotakoi Love is Hard for Otaku.
I'm gonna try to hit you with my 4 favorite anime. I know you're gonna have a completely different list because you're more open than me.
I try not to.
But
go ahead.
Tengen Toppa, Gurren Lagann.
I've never seen either one of those. I've always wanted to see
No, it's the same anime. It's the same. Oh. It just means Big Red Machine.
That's a mecha show, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but like that show is.
I like mecha. I love Code Geass and Evangelion.
Oh, that's so Code Geass is on the list. Obviously,
I love that show.
Neon
I watched that one.
But Tengen Toppa is amazing. Because I have like a reason for all of them. I like it. And Tengen Toppa is amazing because all that dumb superhero shit that I watched. You watched too, I guess, but like that we got into anime for. So basically, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and the etceteras that come after it.
One Piece and all that.
Yeah, I never saw One Piece, but I know a lot of people like it. But those animes go on forever. They're like 500 episodes. Yep. They're just as novella as you were describing, soap opera as you were just describing.
Yep.
Because it's their whole fucking journey. Like it took dude, when Naruto came out, I was in high school. I mean, like, I got a degree, you know, like, during all this time, he's still not Hokage, like, all this shit. Yeah,
he's not the greatest Hokage.
And now his son is doing the same shit. And I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm watching his son's show. I already seen it, you know? No, I can't watch another life and shit, by the time, like, if I even ever get married or something, like, or do some other like life milestone, and like this guy is like still having that.
Unless you find a wife that likes Naruto.
There you go, maybe.
The dream.
There you go. But anyway, Tengen Toppa is only 26 episodes.
I'm into it.
But it's like the same amount of growth. But in 26 episodes,
that's why I like Evangelion so much.
Maybe one day I'll watch it again. I see it's on Netflix. They're really trying to get me to watch it.
The translations.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, fuck.
The translations are bad. They changed like some really critical scenes, which I could bring up, and they're pretty well discussed amongst the community at this point. But some of the plot devices.
Watch it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Check. But like,
don't watch the dub. Avoid the dub at all costs.
But that show. Like when the show starts, they all live underground. They're humans, and you know the bad guys or whatever are keeping
Tengen Toppa.
Yeah, all the humans underground. And the goal of the show is we want to make it to the top, right? We want to go to the surface. You know, you know how many episodes it takes them to do that? 1.
Perfect. Just get me on the elevator.
Yeah, and they just like they keep topping it like that. I think one of the main characters dies like in episode 3 or 5. Like it's just like they're just moving like this. The main boss is dead by episode 12, so they just keep like stacking.
Okay.
Stacking. Like it's like Super Saiyan comes in like episode 3. Like they just keep on stacking.
Perfect. All right.
It's like it's a lot to take in, and that it's like we're gonna get to Super Saiyan level 3. We're just gonna do it in 26 episodes, not 300.
I think the Super Saiyan thing didn't come around until like Dragon Ball Z, right? And
yeah, like whatever, like what we gonna call it, Bankai, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
saw
what is it? One for all.
Yeah.
I didn't see it in the theater, but I saw it. I don't like new Saiyans. I don't like new Saiyans in Super. Look, I don't really fuck with the Super because like, man, it's just like more Dragon Ball Z, and it's like when Dragon Ball Z existed for a lot of us, the Americans, I'm sure maybe you too. You know, anime.
I'm
was
actually
in
a newer anime fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right, so like
I started getting this when I was
time,
older.
Dragon Ball Z, you know, anime. You know, there's no internet yet, or at least not as powerful. You know, like that's when 56K-ish is around if we're lucky. But dude, it was on Spanish television. It's on normal television.
Toonami?
No, this is before that. Yo, I used to have to wake up or record my Sunday morning at 7:30 in the morning in New York. I don't know. Everybody airs it different, but this is before Cartoon Network got the rights to air it. But yeah, and then once Cartoon Network got the rights to air it, they kept looping the Frieza story. So then I just went to Fordham Road in New York, and I bought all the bootlegs. Actually, my brother did because he's a man, and I didn't work. But but he bought all the bootlegs, right? From Frieza to like the rest of it because it was already done. And so even though I started off in English, I'm partial to the Japanese because I saw the whole series in Japanese. But so like you see these guys work, and then I never saw Dragon Ball, but a lot of people saw Dragon Ball. They say still that's the best one, whatever. It's all opinion.
Sure.
But you see Goku work, and then Super one. It just feels like more Dragon Ball Z versus Dragon Ball is totally different. Dragon Ball Z is totally different. I know people don't like GT, but it's somewhat different. You know,
they're Super.
Yeah, but everything's it. But Super is just like, all right, y'all like this Z? Let's keep going. We're gonna pick up right where it left off. Fuck GT, that shit is trash. You know, like everything. You know, everything you guys wanted, fan service time. You know.
Yeah.
And so I ignored most of it. It's funny watching Goku Black translated because you see the fake racism, you know? Don't shoot him, he's black, you know? Like or shoot him, he's black, I think they said. But I think what pulled a lot of people in, and I ended up joining in eventually, was the Tournament of Time, Tournament of Power, because that was a nostalgia fest. I don't know if you watch Super or not.
I've watched I love Yu Yu Hakusho, and I watched all of that. And with the Dark Tournament, and that's like the greatest martial arts tournament.
Tournament of Power has a lot of people fight from like that normally would never fight again. Master Rossi,
wow.
Like you see what I'm saying?
Way
like,
back in the
he fought, but so Tournament of Power because it's like all the universe fighting. So they have the All Star team. Sure, it's Goku and Vegeta, but then they got Yamcha and Tien and all these people who don't get to do it no more because they suck. You know, like because that's what the problem with that growth rate of shows like that is like now it's just Bob and Steve who can fight and everybody else can't hold their own no more. So it's really just Goku and Vegeta, and it's Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and then everybody else is like, good job, go get him, Goku. You know, like, I remember we used to fight together, weren't those good days? But in that one, I think everybody was fighting, so I would hear about this on my feed all the time. I was like, what's going on here? Rossi's fighting? Like, I'm curious, you know? So I was shocked, but they brought back other Saiyans, not Broly comes with the movie, but they brought back Saiyans from other universe who had never done Super Saiyan. And they blame it on some bullshit, and you know everything's fake, so you can always fix everything with writing.
And then Super Saiyan fusions.
But that was always there. But the thing is, like these new Saiyans, they end up catching up to Goku and Vegeta, like this. And the thing is, they blame it on like so Super Saiyans will always be as good as what's in front of them. But what I hate is like, dude, it took these guys 15, 25 literal years.
Yeah, literal.
These little children who didn't know there was a thing called Super Saiyan are literally just catching up to these Super Saiyan god fools. And it's like, that's kind of whack. And it's also demeaning to Goku who took 25 years to do this, you know? Like, just make other aliens, you know? Like, don't have, like, there's a bunch of Saiyans from other universes and, like, I don't know.
Well, they didn't make Yamcha Super Saiyan, did they?
No.
It wasn't that demeaning then.
But I don't know. I don't know. But like same thing with Brawley. So that they introduced new Brawley. I'm biased. I still kind of like the old Brawley, but the new one's not bad. But this guy's even worse in the sense that in that movie, that's his first fight ever in his life.
Yep.
He doesn't even know how to fight. And without turning Super Saiyan, he's holding his own with Goku and Vegeta, who have like blue hair, fucking busting their ass. Yeah. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're just like, yo, this character's trash. Why am I watching his anime? Clearly, I need to watch his anime. Yeah. You know, like, what are we doing? This is his first fight ever, and he's just like angry. He's just like, I don't know. So stuff like that. Yeah, it's just like there's no rules in that world. They're just always like, you guys like fights, you're getting fights. Dragon Ball Z for life. You know, like we're just always gonna have a reason to fight. You know.
That's like in music. Don't bore us. Get to the chorus. You know.
Shit.
That was an interview that I saw from Dave Grohl, the Foo Fighters. He said, "Don't bore us. Get to the chorus."
Someone doesn't like prog. That's what I heard there.
Someone doesn't like prog.
That's what I just heard from that. Clearly, Dream Theater is not your favorite band.
I personally love Opeth and Dream Theater.
Oh, so Opeth was on my list of like most influential people. Because I used to, on that list, Dream Theater was the only band. Opeth is a band, but really it was Michael Applebaum.
It's his project and hired goons.
Yeah. Versus Dream Theater is sort of a band, maybe not today, but
they're more of a band than Michael Applebaum and his goons.
But Opeth, I used to love Opeth. Do you mess with Opeth now that he doesn't growl on record?
Oh,
I see that face.
Yeah,
and I forgot you're a metal guy, so you might have actual opinions.
Oh, looks man, like I think he should go back to the growling. I mean, musically is always like I understand the idea of an artist wanting to follow his influences, and if he doesn't actually listen to all that heavy death metal stuff, but it's still he wants to write stuff that he's been following in his life. I always believe that an album or a musical project, or it should be, or not should be, but usually is like a statement of that artist's. One, it's an actual authentic project, is where that artist is a snapshot of what that artist is doing or what he's inspired by in that point in his life.
Scientific with it.
So that's why my albums always have changed. Like you'll see the album covers on mine have varied over the years, and this next one coming out is going to be variable from everything else I've put out. It's always going to be a snapshot of what you were inspired by or what you wanted to make at that point in your life. And with manufactured albums, you don't really see this because you're basically hired to sell an image and write songs. But from someone on my level or your level, Abe, or anyone else, it's actually.
You gotta bring me down to you. No, I'm just fucking with you.
That's tough, but the shade. But no, you get the idea, though. It's people who are actually making music as a passion project that are not being told by a label or someone else to write music. This is what I see it as. It's a snapshot of what. That's why artists' influences change over time. But that's what Opeth, I think, is a prime example of that. And that he wanted to write songs that were a little like he got some good feedback from the Damnation stuff, which is like Deliverance, that whole duo album project in the early 2000s where he had the chill album and the heavy album, and
because they were together.
Yeah, they were sold as a package. Well, they were two separate albums that just released at the same time.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. They did that, but then other albums they added more of a quiet, loud dynamic after that. Which it was always kind of present, but. It was just more of a thing, and then they just wanted to go in a 70s prog direction.
Yeah, I always say he accomplished his dream of becoming Camel.
Yep.
Once they removed
he wanted to become Camel. Remember you saying that?
Yeah.
The first time we ever met
Camel.
He mentioned that. He just wants to become Camel.
Yeah, that's it. Well, Steven Wilson's on that list, too.
All right.
So I love Steven Wilson.
But we need to get back to anime because you said you wanted to do top 4 anime.
The four. All right.
You said Tengen Toppa Gurren.
Those are my top 5. Your list might get bigger. Yeah. So Tengen Toppa is amazing. Code Geass. When I was depressed earlier this year, it's been a lot of depression. Depression's brand new to me.
Yeah.
It's brand new to me.
Okay.
Oh, it's brand new to me and it being aware. Maybe I was, but in terms of this year, this is the first year I was like, oh shit.
I made the post on Facebook last year about it. Sure.
Okay.
My end, but yeah.
So so one of those things I do during depression is I get a lot of bad food, and I look for anime. Right? And I rewatched all of Code Geass season 1 and 2 just to see if those things were real. Because another one of these animes that's coming on the list, I rewatched it and I was like, that shit is still good. It's not just nostalgia.
Back on Code Geass.
Yeah. But Code Geass, I still do like it. I think I might have liked it better in my head. and I think season 1 probably is better than season 2 now.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Season 2, man, when it gets to that whole what the king wants to do, you start losing me for a little bit. I'm like, this guy's crazy.
Yeah, that king.
Like, and then once they leave that world,
a bad guy,
once they leave that world, it gets okay again. But like in any that little bit of King's world, whatever.
Or I mean, the whole of this show kind of focuses on Suzaku and Lelouch's relationship. And,
yeah, which I don't mind. But there's a new movie, by the way.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I look forward to seeing it. I am disappointed. One, that there's a movie, right? Because it's fine.
They screened it at Alamo. I just couldn't go.
Yeah. But this is where it gets bad. So you know how they do these, just like they did with Neon, all these re-releases of the shows, like recap movies?
Yeah.
So the movie is based on the recap movie, not the TV anime.
That's silly.
Yeah, and the recap movies, not dramatically, but they slightly change stuff. So it's like this Reddit recaps. I'll probably just read the Reddit recaps. I don't know if I want to watch 6 hours of what I already know. But one of the main things, which I think is kind of a important thing, who's the girl that likes him? Again, more spoilers.
Colin, like the pilot.
Oh no! Who's that girl that likes him that dies?
The princess. Yeah, she gets killed. I forgot her name.
I don't think she's a princess. She has orange hair. She just has a crush on Lelouch since the get-go.
Oh, the girl that he writes
that the dad dies in the mountains. Do you remember?
Yeah, he uses the Gias on her.
On her, yeah. And she's like, no, I don't want to forget. But she ends up remembering because of the counselor.
And then the photos. Yeah. I remember that guy, yeah. And then the photos later on, too. And she's like, Arons, yep.
But, yeah, so she's still alive. And I'm like, that's like a cool kind of, like emotional death to me. Like important, but they got rid of that. So she's still alive. So there's little changes. I think that's the most dramatic change.
Yeah.
But so this is almost...
Especially
so
if that character
3
resonated with you.
So it's not season 3, but movie 3 is almost like alternate universe gear. So you can't even add it to the anime we saw. You gotta take it for like an alternate reality.
Like, well, with the Code Geass, his whole thing was being able to make people obey him at command.
Yeah, that part still exists.
So that's basically it. The whole show could easily go in an alternate reality direction. It would still canonically make sense.
There's alternate reality mangas, because one of the things, this is the only anime that I'm aware of that I liked, that it wasn't manga first. It was anime first.
Right.
But there's a manga, like, I think Lelouch dies, and that girl, his sister,
Nanali.
She becomes the Geass person for that show, and then I think she's the main character,
And then she recovers her sight.
I didn't read it. I just know, that it exists, because they were like, yo, people like this shit, and then all the mangas and everything start dropping out.
Well, that's because half the time they do that with a lot of shows to promote the anime.
But it's just funny seeing it in reverse, because normally
it's the opposite.
Things like Titan are trailing, right? Like, when we gonna get it? Like, well, when's he gonna finish, right? Like, ain't my fault, But yeah, anyway, so Geass is on the list. I love Geass. I love that just whole chess game dynamic.
Yeah, it's very Death Note-ish,
which is also on the list.
And it's a very psychological thing of who's going to outwit who and how is he going to play all these people. I love the ideas. The rat race.
Because he reminds me of V for Vendetta.
Very Justice Warrior kind of.
But he's willing to do whatever it takes, sacrifice whoever it takes, right? So it's funny because he's...
Except Donnelly.
So, except her. But you see, that's greed, though. Yeah. So he's fighting...
Yeah.
So supposedly he's a good guy, right? But he's doing it for reasons of vengeance. Yep. It just happens to be sold as salvation, But he'll do whatever it takes and sacrifice whatever. So he's kind of like doing the good thing through quote unquote evil, because there's no limits to his thing, right?
Yeah, he doesn't see a moral balance.
Versus you got this guy's like trying to do it from within,
I want to obliterate the Britannian Empire, It's it.
But then you have Suzaku who wants to. He's like, no, the only way is to just join the military and like do it from within. Yeah. You have to change from within. I
remember him saying that.
But he's the justice warrior, even though he's fighting on the quote unquote power of the bad guys, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, he's a total selfish.
Yeah. So righteous. It's like when he's running away in that one of those early scenes, and he just starts shooting people or buildings so like the people would fall. Right. So Suzaku starts saving them like a Superman type thing.
Yep, I remember him doing that.
And it's just like kind of interesting. So you got the good guy working for the bad guys and bad guy working for the good guy. It's just kind of that dualness. Yeah. Let alone all the chess stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
And the act of even giving him like what he calls a curse, like you have to live.
Yeah.
So he's like overdriven to like to always fight, not because he wants to, but he just can't die because he can't have the will to die.
No.
Even if he wants to, it's just not allowed.
Or even how his final plan in season 2, where he ends up having to sacrifice himself. That
was great. I like that.
That was a good ending. It was very, I felt really bad.
I like when he dies, and that's when people start to realize what was going on. So like Callan or whatever her name is, she's like, no, that's him. Because she just doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
She just accepts him. But I like the sister when she gets like all the flashbacks and she sees everything. So like everybody's rejoicing at his death versus she's crying, and you got this awesome song playing.
Yeah.
That's just an awesome moment.
Yeah.
And then he says, I create worlds, I destroy worlds. I was like, that was pretty hard, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, that was pretty hard. That's a great anime.
That Code Geass is dead.
You mentioned Death Note, so Death Note's on my list too.
Okay.
Death Note has the soundtrack from the homie who smokes weed.
Yeah.
So R.I.P. the homie.
Yeah.
He's in purgatory, I guess. Yeah. Indefinitely.
They treat that like a prison sentence over there.
Yeah. So one day maybe he'll make music.
Yeah, but Death Note. Yeah, the whole show is about the chase between Light and L, basically. And Code Geass kind of played on this lightly, but this is completely different.
That's hardcore chess games. And when you're working with the enemy and sleeping with the enemy,
Yeah.
That's just hard.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, it's on the list, but only the first 25 episodes.
Of course, once they bring in Nier and Mello and all this other shit, it's like, come on.
So, do you know the movie?
I watched the Netflix movie. I was just about to mention it.
No, hell no, I didn't watch that shit. You fucking crazy. There's a movie, I can't remember.
I haven't seen any of the Japanese live action
The Departed.
movies. Okay. It's
been
a long time.
Yeah,
I watched it,
movie? So it's a remake of Chinese movie called, I think it's called Infernal Affairs.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie.
Okay.
But it's the same thing. It's famous Chinese actors, but they're doing the same thing. You got that good guy in the mafia, cop, and the bad guy in the cops, and they're just flipping roles and they're playing that chess game with each other. They know there's an informant, but whatever.
Yeah.
So they're doing stuff like that. However, I didn't notice at the time. So this is before I moved here. So this is before 2003, that movie. And I don't even know. Yeah, Hong Kong did maybe go back to China. But so movies back then came out for Hong Kong and for mainland China. And in that movie, The Departed kind of, there's 3 movies, but The Departed kind of just shoves all 3 together. But in The Departed one over there, the guy who's the cop, but he's really a mafia, he wins, if you want to say it. So he kind of like kills all his mafia ties so he can just be a cop and free in the world, But he's technically the bad guy. Because he's just like trying at this point to like live a safe life. And the guy who was a cop working for the mafia, he dies. But that's the bad guy winning. So in mainland China, they made a separate ending. So I actually saw that version, and I didn't know that for years.
In The Departed, they made an alternate ending for just for China.
So like in part 3, then sort of like what happens in Departed happened, but it takes 3 movies to get Departed. Departed is primarily just movie 1, but then it like takes parts of movie 2 and 3 and just stuffs it all into one movie over there in China. But yeah, in part 3, then everybody finds out who he really is anyway.
Right.
He ends up going. There was a reason why I was telling this story. Because that's why the ending of Death Note is. The ending of Death Note reminds me of that.
Yep.
The bad guy won, and they're like, nah, bro. Here's 10 more episodes, and we're going to come up with some convoluted bullshit that ain't nowhere near as good, so the bad guy doesn't win. Because you know why? Because we can't send that message. Because this is China.
Yep.
And in China, bad guys don't win, so don't get no ideas, people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stay in line, Yep. Stay in line. I ain't like that. Yeah, I just like...
I feel like they kind of just tagged in that they wanted, whether it was like the demand of the studio because of how popular the show got or something else.
That was manga too first, from what I understand.
Oh, it's in the manga?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That being said, I feel like mad people who read the manga don't even like the anime, period.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a thing for most people, but I feel like that's really a thing with Death Note. And it might have to do with those episodes too.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I love Death Note. So the one that didn't get listed, this show. I also was depressed and saw this show this year.
Okay.
This show's amazing.
Uh-oh.
I'm like crying thinking about it right now.
I hope I watched it.
I'm like, it's called... They actually released a new one like last year. And that's why I ended up seeing it. Because I started watching episode 1 of the new one and I was like, I don't remember any of this shit. Let me watch the old one. So Steins Gate. You ever seen Steins Gate?
Oh man, I need to watch this.
Steins Gate is hard, bro. Be careful though, because there's an evil show there that came out last year called Steins Gate Zero. That is trash.
Okay.
Don't, at the very least, just don't watch that one first, But Steins Gate time travel show, I won't say no more because it's really cool if you just watch it. Yeah. But I think it's 24 episodes.
Doesn't it have a slow build up? It's one that starts a little slow and it kind of jumps into it.
Yeah, I for me it was fine, but I think if you go hold out to episode 3 and 5, you'll get the gist, and then it should be moving from there.
Yeah,
it's so good. So
I gotta
good.
watch Kaji, Steins Gate.
I would say watch Steins Gate next. So it's hard. So
I've been watching Welcome to the NHK lately.
I've heard of that.
It's a show about hikikomori's.
Is it 8 or 12 episodes?
26.
All right, maybe I'm confusing it with another one.
But hikikomori is basically a Japanese shut-in. It's someone who doesn't go outside, doesn't interact with the world, doesn't have a job or anything.
You relate to that a little bit?
Very well.
I was going to say.
The idea of being so depressed you don't want to go outside and interact with others.
I'm going to go. We're going to dive deeper in that. Let me finish the Steins Gate so we can go into that. So I don't want to say no more about Steins Gate story, but it's so good. But Steins Gate Zero, so I think it's 24 episodes. Steins Gate Zeros take place in between 23 and 24. Not that you should watch it in that order, but it's almost like a what if 24 didn't happen.
Oh, it was an alternate reality.
Yeah. And you might like that show.
Maybe.
Because they're joking about the slice of life. Because 24 never happens. Oh my gosh, Steins Gate Zero is horrible. It's just like this guy goes to school. He just goes to... I was like, yo, like, what
so boring.
Yeah, I was like, dude, like, he hates his life. I hate my life. Like, what am I watching? Normally, I'm watching like people do amazing shit. I want to do amazing shit. This guy sucks. And I'm like, I could go live this life now. You know,
break every bone in your body to save some little boy.
It
right?
took like up to episode 13 or 15 to like for some real shit to finally happen. Then it started to feel like Steins Gate again. Mm-hmm. But goddamn, dude, that shit was hard. Yeah. And then there was one episode that was really hard around Steins Gate 07, because it ties in to a really powerful episode and the old one, and I was like, that's some fucked up shit. But then after that, it went back to being the same shitty show with the same shitty life, and I was like, this shit sucks. But Steins Gate's amazing. Steins Gate's amazing. Steins Gate. I just don't want to say nothing because I feel like sometimes you watch certain things and it's just cooler if it's fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's funny. So yeah, I was saying like, I'd be like, I bet you that sounds like that you relate to some of that stuff just from having the talks with you. But I have to ask this because you seem to have both, and maybe we all have both, right? Mm-hmm. Cause you have that. I don't know. How would you describe that part of you, like recluse or whatever? Like let's just use that word because I'm trying to get another point anyway. You have that reclusive part. Mm-hmm. So like I don't know, but then like I hear these stories of you just picking up from Orlando to Austin. It took me. You know how many years people had to listen to me talk all this bullshit about how I'm like San Antonio, but I don't finally move to this year. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, so like, yeah, you did that long ago. Mm-hmm. You moved to a real city, quote unquote, place where you can really be you. Yeah. But then like you're like passing your CD at work at the risk of losing your job. So I feel like I see these things. You know, you didn't know that at the time. Now you're fine, but theoretically at the risk, you know. So I see these things, and it just seemed that like. And let alone the fact that you perform live. That's always a scary thing in the beginning, too. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you still get nervous or not, but definitely in the beginning, I'm sure you did. Yeah. But, like, a lot of these things seem really ballsy. So it's almost like, how do those two exist in the same person? You know what I mean?
Mm. I treat Chris Big Money as a split personality.
Oh, shit. It's fucking Batman.
Yeah, it's Batman. Yeah, I treat it like that. Yeah. It's just one of those things I kind of create. Is like, that's my creative entity. That's... with the name I use when I create stuff, or like, you know, where if I'm on the scene, I'll introduce myself as Chris Big Money, as I want them to check out my intellectual stuff, my work. And so the whole recluse thing is just, I've always been I don't have much for family or siblings, and I've always been kind of to myself.
Like you don't have much family, or you just don't like them, or something?
Both. Okay. Yeah. I don't have any male siblings. I got 2 sisters. Let me see. I lost my parents when I was young. But I've always just been kind of someone who liked to keep, I like my alone time. You know, I think anyone likes a little bit of alone time. I just happen to like it a little more than others. Yeah. And then like with the Chris Big Money stuff just started because I never was able to collaborate with other people. It was just something I always had trouble with artistically creating. Even this album coming out, it'll be the first time I've ever had guests on an album. Yep. After all this time making music, I've never been able to have successful collaborations. But it was just
you gotta drop bars on a track, dude.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah, sure. But actually, that actually went somewhere. Went like to a released project that's gonna be that was mastered professionally, and that is gonna be available everywhere in a few weeks. But let me see. But it's just one of those things. But I think I can hold a conversation just fine. I think I'm a pretty normal person. I just happen to enjoy a lot of my alone time, or that's where I think I thrive in those scenarios. And sometimes I just kind of want to maybe have a 60-40 instead of like an 80-20 or a 70-30 in this ratio. And I talk to like my therapist about stuff like this, but batshit fucking crazy, yo. But but yeah, no, it's just sometimes I just like to kind of think about a lot of stuff, and I just think that's kind of the idea behind the whole recluse pseudo hikikomori things. I still go out to see to a day job. Yeah. I go to the gym 5 days a week, and every now and then.
Yeah, 5 days now.
5 days, yeah.
Going hard, bro.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic. That's a whole podcast of that shit. But no, I mean, I keep myself busy, but yeah, when my free time is very limited. And it's like I don't even cook my own meals anymore. I just buy prepackaged food.
Oh shit, meal prep.
Yeah, I don't like meal prep. I don't do it. So that's how I've been able to lose a bunch of weight too. Is just about, and that's another topic. But I like to play video games on my spare time. I play a shit ton of video games, and this, make music. Dude. It's hard to get viewers. That's so discouraging.
I didn't say I knew that answer, but at least you'll be ready to get viewers. You know what I mean?
I've tried that before. No, I just get anxiety about shit like that.
I've been lazy, but because I don't really know what to stream in. But I've always attracted to IRL stream. But sometimes I'm like, let me just turn it on while I'm editing video. Because honestly, people will come in and talk to you.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I'm like, fuck, I don't want to talk to you. I want to edit this video. So it's like the irony. Like, I want you to watch, but leave me alone.
I just play games as a way to distress and kind to get through, my work life or personal life or whatever. I just need an escape from that. And I'm totally addicted to escaping reality. So it's why I love going to see movies. I love watching cartoon shows, Japanese cartoon shows. We're playing video games, or just something where I can either interactively escape from reality, or just something to where I get excited about the creation of it. So I think that's a totally worthy cause of living. It's just to see people's art and creativity, and people think it's you hate your life, so you're just looking for a way to escape from it. But at the same time, it's one of those things where there's a lot of brilliant shit that's being put out there in the world nowadays, and it's very exciting. And it's like, it's kind of nice to be able to talk about it here on a podcast, but in real life, I just don't really know a lot of people who share this kind of enthusiasm about stuff, because they may have such happy, friendly lives, or they may have a bunch of friends hitting them up constantly. And me, I'd rather just stay home, and my phone maybe go off like once or twice a week, or maybe not too often. So it's just, some people just like their alone time a little more than others, and I just get really excited about creation. But
I
kind of answer your question a little bit.
Do you want the phone to go off more or no?
Mm-hmm. I think about that sometimes, and sure I would, but at the same time I wouldn't. There's times where I turn my phone off. There's like, if I get deep into a game, or if
airplane mode guy.
Yeah, I love it. It's like there's just times where I used to post on Facebook 6 times a day, but I've slowed that down. But it's just one of those things where I'll turn my phone off if I don't want to talk to anyone, or if I just want to do something else for a while, or just kind of drift off. I think it's important to know when to be unplugged, or when to, when you just need to tune out for a bit. And I think that's something that, with all this stuff that people project on social media nowadays, and that's a whole other conversation about, the idea of
people. I had this conversation yesterday too with another artist friend.
Yeah.
She's been not active lately because she's going through her own life journey.
Sure.
Right? But as I talk to you right now with that, and I start to wonder, because I always tell myself this, because sometimes I don't call it bullshit, because I'm like, man, just bullshitting myself, but why am I on these things? I kind of say, because I'm an artist, so I gotta have my stuff out there. Yeah. It's important, whatever. And it does act like a portfolio, and it's like keep Rolodex, you know, because
there's people, always that hypothetical, like I throw that mixtape out at my coworkers.
Yeah, what if, you know?
Yeah.
But honestly, something that saved it for me like a couple of years ago is, you know, like the daily bars, you know, that I post, because not everybody reads them. If anybody, sometimes I want to, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But what it did was it calloused me to the world for doing it, because now I can do it in public, and now it doesn't faze me. Versus the first few times, I was worried, like, what are these people that don't read it gonna think when they don't read it? You know, So I thought it was important at least that time to get that callous thing. But now that I'm there, I'm like, you know, I could just do daily bars without posting it. I don't even need to be on these things sometimes.
Yeah, well, it gives you an outlet to put them out.
Yeah.
And you know, that's why it's important to like do stuff like the Boosh podcasts, or you know, just to be out with like the scene with like Imaginary Stereo or even Feedback Alliance or whoever else you're connected with. And it's just the idea of being around like-minded people, which is the last few weeks has kind of brought me back into the loop of going to Imaginary Stereo shows or the Field thing like last week, or just being, you know, these are people that are, you know, you're around like people that actually want to kind of share somewhat of a similar passion to you, and that are interested in hearing your ideas, and it's okay to push your passion projects on them, because normal people in the real world are just going to get annoyed from it after a while. You got to find people that you can kind of attack from within.
So it's fun. This goes slightly back to something you were talking about.
Yeah.
I think too, so my Austin life since April has been definitely an up-down roller coaster. And I think a lot of it is because I'm being forced to confront all the adult things that I've run away from.
Yeah.
A lot. Now that I'm like, I was living with my sister, but it's my sister, so she's family. So now I'm kind of actually alone-ish. I mean, I got roommates, but you know.
Yeah, that's
if roommates. I can't pay, they getting rid of me.
Yeah. Bye.
But like, I'm addicted still, like, to the idea of escaping reality. But I've become fascinated with this idea, and this is maybe why I don't give up certain things. And I believe it's possible. I've seen people do it, but I also understand it takes mad work. This shit doesn't just happen by accident. I'm less interested in the idea. This is why I don't play games as much anymore. Well, really, because time, and it's hard to do everything. But I don't want to escape no more, right? I want to create reality.
Okay.
As crazy
That's
as
another
that
form
sounds.
of an escape.
Fine.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah.
And I feel like that requires so much effort. And but I feel like I've only started doing that around April. The act of me living here is that, you know?
But yeah, it's a huge turning point for you.
There was a girl I really liked, and like back in the old days, I would just let that stay. But I fucking tried hard, and I made that happen. And I feel like I'm trying hard for another thing right now too. And it doesn't even matter that it's happened, but I feel like now, whether it works out or not, but now I feel like I'm putting effort into, like, I have these ideas, and years ago these ideas were songs, or hey, I want to do a podcast. I've done over 200 concerts, same thing. I've done over 200, whatever. Music songs, I didn't try as hard. That's why I want to try hard with music now, because I'm like, I only did 50. What the hell? I was like, I don't even like videos like that, and I did like all these videos. I was like, so I'm like, I want to try this with music now, but I'm like, but I also want to try this with life. And it's a bit harder with life, still learning how to do it, but like, I feel like I'm starting to believe in myself, and that very slowly. It's real hard to earn credibility with yourself, it seems. But the act of like, ooh, like this thought, I can make it happen. And that's kind of fucked up. That's kind of, it's cool, it's great, but it's also like, ooh, like what is this power, you know?
Yeah, once you say you're a creator at that point.
Yeah.
And I was watching Welcome to the NHK, and they break that up, where the guy, Hikikomori, meets his neighbor next door, who ends up being a hardcore otaku. And anyway, they talk about they want to become partners making video games. So the idea of, you know, making games where you have no budget, no real talent, you know, nothing. There's only one genre that you can be successful in. Hentai games. And so he starts doing research, and he gets addicted to porn and stuff, and early on in the show.
I know about that life.
Starts taking, you know, like photographs of like girls at school and stuff.
That life I don't know.
And it becomes really creepy. But the idea of putting on that creative lens, no matter what it is, it can happen at any time. So it's where it just kind of struck, 'cause I just watched it last night. So yeah, I had one of those quiet moments, and I just watched a bunch of anime until I fell asleep. But
yeah, no. I did something last night I haven't done in a while. And this artist who I'm very fortunate to know in a special way right now. She gave me her album, and I listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done that for an album, like where I just listened to it.
Yeah.
Like I was drinking like soda and stuff and eating or whatever.
Sure.
But like I mean, like I listened to it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done that in so long. Like to hear a whole album where I'm not doing something, like driving or whatever, you know. Like I guess like I heard DiBiase a few weeks ago, but I was driving like in between Ubers and shit, so I was like hearing it and stuff. But like literally just sitting at home listening to it.
Wow.
That's what I'm trying. I guess
that's some next
That's
level
what I mean.
shit.
Because I really haven't done that in so long.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just had, and I'm sure a lot of people haven't just sat at home unless they're like vinyl heads. I feel like vinyl heads do that shit all the time. Like,
I have a somewhat decent vinyl collection, and yeah, I haven't done that in like 2 years. I'd like to, you know, where I just sat down. Yeah, shit. I think when the Daft Punk album came out, like Random Access Memories, back when I first moved to Austin. Wow. That's the last time I actually sat down, like laid down on my bed.
Is that the one with Get Lucky?
Yep.
I bought that on vinyl for
I have it on vinyl still, but I bought the CD first, and I listened to the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Dude, you know, just like what you had did. I think I did this with a friend in high school too, at Pink Floyd's Oh My Gumma. You know, I had some really weird friends.
At that time, I was probably still doing that for certain music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wasn't, but now it's like I only listen to music when I'm driving or when I'm at the gym. That's really the only times I listen to music.
So I only started listening to music again, period, when I'm driving. But it got replaced for a long time by a podcast and books. But it came back into play because, like, I think I told you the wave music.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's instrumental, and I started practicing freestyling, and I realized that takes a different muscle memory or skill or whatever than writing. So I started practicing. I was like, well, I drive a lot. Now I do Uber. Like, I drive a lot. Like, so I just do it in between, like, rides and stuff. So I'm doing that shit all the time. But if it wasn't for the fact I wasn't using it to freestyle, I probably would still just listen to podcasts or something, you know? So it's weird. It's almost like it's hard for me to justify hearing music. Like, it sounds horrible, you know, like to even say.
Well, no, there's no. Yeah, podcasts are another escape from reality too. Is that you're taking in someone else's story that's different from your own reality.
But I kind of like most of the ones I hear now too. I'm kind of like using it. They're all informational, so I'm kind of using it to learn or try to quote unquote better myself, even if it's just me hearing the same message again and again subconsciously. That hopefully it changes the shit out of me. You know, like at some point.
You always want to do something that's going to help improve yourself, or it's going to improve others. Yeah. You know, I think that's the most important things in life these days. That you know, people want is they want to see you doing things with other people. They want to see you doing something to improve yourself. And yeah, so these are just things that I don't do enough of. I mean, yeah, sure. I think I get a lot of personal enrichment from watching all these cartoons.
I don't know if you do enough, but you done some stuff. You go into the gym now all the time. You lost a bunch of weight. Mm-hmm. You dropped an album. Pounds, you know?
Yeah, I about to drop a fourth album. Yeah, it does. 2 years. Yeah. You just got to make other people value it. But, you know, you got to care about your own projects first before you can expect other people to care about them, you know?
Only you can prevent forest fires. Smokey the
Bear. Good zinger. Wow, I can't even counter that. That's brilliant.
So, let me hit you with the life questions, then we can wrap it up.
Yeah. It can go on all night.
I can. And I like doing that sometimes. But I feel like where we headed right now is the sweet spot. So anyway, and the life questions can be a thing for people anyway. What do you believe in that people think you're crazy for believing?
I don't even fucking know. I never even thought about that.
There's a lot of these questions might do that.
People think I'm crazy for believing in.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I would say Santa Claus. No, he's actually based off a real thing that they've just appropriated into a marketing thing for Christmas. But he's actually a Danish like mythology kind of like character, a children's book or something.
No.
He's a real person or something, but real fictional character. But I don't really know about things that people think I'm crazy. People may look down on me for liking certain things like anime and stuff, but
do you really think that's a thing? In a 2019 one, Twitch was streaming Anime Expo like this week, and you're over here. like those are old tropes that I think when we were growing up in our grade school, we probably, I remember being making fun of for games and like, look at the fucking culture we live in. There's a bunch of Twitchers right now making more money than, not that I'm making a lot of money, but me and you combined, you know? It's really you right now, but I mean, like, you're holding most of this.
I think people want to. It's like when you with music, you know, people like, this is a real thing about you know, like people that aren't in your music scene that won't go to your shows. It's like, but we'll go put a third mortgage to go see like Taylor Swift or something. So, or just like some really big name artists with like $100 concert tickets or whatever. It's just that
that's
people,
real to them. Yeah,
like people want to see someone that's been validated by strangers.
Yo, real quick, do you think we should charge $100 a ticket? Is that what we're doing wrong? Like,
we can't even get them through.
No, I get it, but if we luxury items sell to luxury people, so maybe we're selling to the wrong market. Free is bad. Yeah, we need to sell to the high class Austinites. That Californian you don't like, come on. We need to sell to them. $100 a ticket, maybe. The way you become Taylor Swift is just say you're Taylor Swift. Don't actually do that. Like, you're still Chris Big Money, but I mean, like, it just costs 100 tickets. I'm Chris Big Money. Like, I like money. You know, like 100 a ticket. I'm sorry.
That sounds.
You know, like, you should do that. You should do like just like a test show.
It'd be a venue that I'll never get a show booked at again. So
just do it in a place where like, you get away with that, and like maybe like film it or stream it. That way, it's still used for something. Just in case no one buys one ticket, but you never know. You sell one ticket, that's like probably more than most shows, right? That you've got paid, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so all you got to sell one ticket.
I don't think I've ever played a show that's had a cover. Ever.
Are you serious?
I think I'm serious.
I'd like to think.
I
don't know how much you've given in your
donations, but I don't think I've ever played a show where they've charged a cover at the door.
It's gotta be. I mean, you live in Austin. I only used to try.
Okay, maybe. All right.
You know, like
no, I think I played a catnip after party once with some guys. Like,
dude, you played, even though you were DJing in between, you played like brainwave shit at Swan Dive. That has a cover.
Oh, what did it? Was it $5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I played shows at a $5 cover. All right.
Yeah,
so
you probably played $5 shows. You probably played $3 shows.
But I did play $3 shows.
Yeah.
That's how I met a couple people. I met Cabrini Green that way. It's $3 shows.
So you used to do that.
Yeah, shit. Okay, so I maybe played for shows for $5.
I think most,
majority of my shows are free.
Yeah,
if it was up to me, I'd like to keep them free. But well, this $100 idea is very intriguing, though.
It's just if I invest in a good stage show, all your damn shows need a bit, but I'm just saying that's an interesting test, you know.
If I play a show in like an arena or something, and I didn't go say
don't rent in. Now see, now you're getting crazy. Now you're gonna lose money on this idea.
Yeah.
Play the same-ish area, but just let it be known. Like,
Carousel
$100 show. Yeah, some shit like
charge
that.
$100 at the door.
Yeah.
See CBM at the Carousel Lounge.
Yeah.
One night only.
Yeah. Oh, do you sell it as one now? It's an exclusive event?
Yeah.
Like, literally one night only, and you make it clear in the poster, is one night only that you're charging $100. That's the main thing, you know? Not that you're not gonna play. Like, you have a show actually tomorrow, the next day, for free. But tonight, one night only, it's $100, you know?
But what are we getting for the $100, you know?
You didn't see Chris Big Money, that's it. That's it. Like, no, but this is the chance of a lifetime.
Yeah, well, I paid $100.
Yeah, how many times will you have to pay $100 for Chris Big Money?
If I posted that on Facebook, people would think I'm a total fucking
But let me
idiot.
tell you, see, but you probably get more comments there than probably just like, look at my new track.
Yeah.
This is some of the dumb shit we have to do that I don't even take my own rights that I'm giving you right now. Like, you know, like, but like, this is some of the shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't even know how. I'd have to actually book the show first to even think of that.
You were rich. How would you live your life?
I've thought about this a lot. I got to a point at my job, not so much anymore, but a couple of years ago, where I was doing pretty well, you know, and then I'd lost all my money for a bit, you know. Well, I'd lost a good amount of it. Like, my car went under, and I ended up buying another car, and then I lived in a place that was just a little too expensive for my needs. So, you know, I was paying for a 1-bedroom apartment by myself, and nobody came to visit me or anything. I just really had no purpose of having it. And I weighed over 300 pounds. I wasn't going to be in any kind of relationship anytime soon looking like that. But no, it was just one of those things where I eventually, you know, readjusted my life to better suit what my needs were. And I've been a lot happier since. But if I was rich, I would probably fall, at least like take care of myself first. But, if I can, I would just, donate a lot of it, or just, use it to travel the world and just kind of do things like that. Maybe play more shows.
I was going to say CBM World Tour.
Yeah, CBM World Tour for sure. That would definitely, if I had a lot of money. Yeah, play it everywhere. I've always wanted to play non-traditional music venues. Like, I've had a fetish wet dream.
Outside India.
Playing outside India.
That's not traditional. It's not traditional.
Definitely not. Now I want to play a taco stand. I always want to play in front of a taco food truck. It's just something I've always wanted to do. Like set up a little PA outside and just play in front of a food truck. But very guerrilla kind of stuff. But
my homie, granted we need like a general. My homie, and I don't know if you met. Nah, you only talked to Dan, the guy I gave you the thing to master. I know you had your own person, but that guy, he has a pretty severe PA out in San Antonio. You get the right truck and make it mobile. Just saying.
Was to sell some tacos out of it. Don't even get a food license or a permit, and just tacos.
Yeah.
I go to Taco Bell and get like a couple 25 packs. Get like a couple grande meals. I think I did that for. Oh man, I probably should have you edit this out, but I don't think she's gonna listen to it, so it doesn't matter. But my sister's wedding, freaking, they didn't have much for catering, so I went to Taco Bell and I got like a bunch of grande meals, like 5 or 6 of them. Yep. And it's like I did some guerrilla shit.
Hey man, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Do you want me to leave that in there or not? I got.
You know what? Leave it in there.
Okay.
If she listens to it, it'll be good on her. Yeah, just
that sounds like
I'm kind of shaming my family there, but yeah.
Yeah,
that's another thing. Your family's not always going to support your creative projects.
Yeah, I had I'm on very good terms with my family, but man, it took them forever to be like, all right, this is Abraham. It took them forever to accept that.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, I'm speaking for me, so I'm not speaking for you and no one else. But at the end of the day, everything is my fault, right? I've become a believer of that. Take ownership of everything. But that being said, we can have that debate if you want to too. But that being said, and so I don't blame my mom or nothing. But I didn't have the mindset I do now back then. So I was very influenced, So not like I regret college or nothing, but I probably wouldn't have done the college thing. But I was very influenced by not just her, it was family and a lot of other outside influences. And when I was in college, I wanted to do guitar, and I do remember this day, where I told her that, and she was like, "How you gonna make money?" And blah blah blah. So I didn't have the confidence in myself to do it anyway. That's what I was saying. It's still my fault, no matter what she did. But I just held her opinion in very high regard. So it did influence me, but at the end of the day, I still chose to do that. But yeah, and I went after a finance degree because I didn't have money. So and I still don't. So yes, but I don't remember where I was even going with that. But what was I going with that? I don't know. You guys.
You're talking about questions that people were crazy for you believing in.
Yeah, but then we went into the next one. Mm-hmm. You're real good at when I ask you that, and then you take it to the past. I'm like, shit, man, you went way too bad.
I went too far back, and
I don't know. I like tangenting so much. Sometimes the tangent keeps going. Sometimes it keeps drifting. Drifting's fun. I've never done it before, but it seems fun. I've seen anime.
Yeah.
I've seen Initial D. I've seen
nice. Nice play to the stuff that really matters. Yeah.
But no. So I don't remember where I was going with that. But life's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Life's crazy. But here's my stereotype question.
Okay.
One of the reasons when I started things like this is to always be looking for the answer, even though the answer is within.
Yeah, or it's been with you all along.
I know, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Abe. It was always there. You should have told me.
All right, all right, stereotype question.
What is your goal in life?
What is my goal? Oh man. To obliterate no, not to obliterate anybody, but I don't know, just to make a difference in the world, just to do something that.
How does CBM make a difference in the world?
To make
not that personality, just means you.
To make him. Yeah, you treating CBM like an alternate entity.
You did say that.
I did.
You did say that.
But
so I was like, you might take it like that.
by making baller ass music. And by doing other things I'm not quite ready to announce yet. But yeah. But yeah, at the same time, just doing things just leading by example and doing well, just being nice to others, that kind of shit. But just treating people the way you want to be treated, and just kind of being a good person overall. And then just by making a difference in a very low key kind of way, just become the person you want to be, that kind of shit. But very tropey kind of stuff at that point.
What is 3 things you thankful for in life?
Shit, 3 things I'm thankful for. The podcast. Okay, no. I guess in a combined sense, like the local music scene here in Austin, Feedback Alliance. I met you and all these other people through it. Originally, when I went to Feedback Alliance, it was just the Ableton meetup, and they did it at some warehouse for High Voltage. It was like some guy who was in like some band, and they used to have Ableton meetups like in this little warehouse where they manufactured trophies like for performance rewards at work and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, but and we went to this place called Szechuan House and afterwards, and that's why I wrote the song Szechuan House. Yeah. But yeah, and it was one of my favorite tracks to play out live. But about Chinese food. But anyway, with the Feedback Alliance story, I was like, okay, I need to meet other people that are into the same shit I am. So I found this meetup group on Facebook, and so I went in the idea of, okay, if this shit's whack, I'm leaving. Yeah. It's quoting a Tribe Called Quest, if it's whack, I'm leaving. But I stuck around, and so eventually I started hanging out with Steve Wilkinson outside, and and then I started meeting other people in the scene, and then eventually started doing Feedback Alliance submissions and doing some shows, and just on and off, I've been active with Feedback Alliance. A lot of times, I should have been more active with the group, but overall, it's been a good experience, and it's given me another platform, and so I'm very thankful for that. And just the idea that Austin is just the way Austin is, and that there's a little, niche group, and there's other like collectives and stuff, but I haven't been able to really gain traction with. But Feedback Alliance has been usually pretty accepting of me and some of my eccentricities that kind of go outside of some of the common tropes found with a lot of other local music scenes, particularly in Austin.
Yeah, you would definitely fit in that category of different. I was talking in the podcast I just put out today. Like 2 of my favorite artists. They were actually in my back to back. So they're actually like Falcon Fucker was my original like favorite artist in Texas, right? Just like of this scene,
Beats.
Yeah, but like I showed you some of the shit. Like granted, you only heard a little bit. If you hear the whole sets, he's the antithesis of everybody though. Like, because he'd probably play like 4 or 5 songs in a set, even though the set might be 30 to 50 minutes. But they're just long, drawn out, ambient soundscape spaces. Eventually a beat happens, like it gets there, but like, and that was different than everybody who's like beat, 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 And that didn't necessarily appeal to everybody, but to me, I was like, this is fucking crazy. I was like, this is awesome.
Good background music, especially I've been listening to a lot of like playlists at work, like YouTube playlists, like those lo-fi beat playlist channels, like Chilled Cow and College Music and all that, and then like a lot of the synthwave mixes you find on there. But just those long form tracks, or things you can do in the background while something else is going on. I tend to listen to those quite a bit. I've been able to figure out a way to listen to music while doing my work at my job, and it's been a very rewarding experience. So artists like Falcon Fucker would probably benefit from that greatly.
And then like after him, like it went to like now like my current favorite artist, it's like Myers, right? She's again, I'm like, I guess like her, maybe not a beat person, but like still end up being around the scene, the DIY-ness of it all, like that. And then you see her live, I'm like, oh, one of these is not like the other. One, she's really talented and stuff, but like everything she's doing is totally different. Ableton's still up there, but she's like playing with a guitar. Sometimes as a drummer, sometimes they're not. But then she's singing and songwriter as well, So like that's not the normal beat thing going on. So it really stands out. And the same thing, like with you go up there, you bring this damn table and all this shit, like all these things that are like you, like your personality and shit. And then you act like you, like, or the CVM, like, so that's what I'm saying, like, it's funny, because you have both. You have the recluse side, but then you have, like, this guy, and you're like, all right, I'm going to just do whatever now, and it doesn't really faze me, like
at least while I'm in Super Saiyan mode.
There you go. Yeah. But that is, like, for the rest of that night, usually everybody else is probably just beats. But you're doing like your unique thing, and it has vocals on a lot of it, you know, depending on the night, you know.
But most of the shows I end up doing are with other like beat producers.
Yeah.
Not always, but a majority of the shows, especially some of my bigger shows, have always been with like some of the, you know, the other beat producers. And it's been, and I actually kind of think I've actually kind of more slowly kind of accepted this. And there was a time where I was at odds with myself with the Feedback Alliance and just the stylistic differences of the music that I make versus them. But in reality, my music's been inspired by them over the years. And this new album that's about to come out is very inspired by Feedback Alliance. And
hence the instrumentals.
Yeah, all the instrumentals and just the structure of the songs, because I was into game soundtracks, and it was just something that it was just didn't really fit the vocal structure of a song, you know, verse, chorus, bridge, whatever.
Real quick, you heard the new DiBiase album?
Huh? DiBiase?
Yeah.
DIABI. Nope, never even heard of that person.
I'll show it to you for He's a lot of Nintendo samples. Android Gate told me about it. It's really awesome. But no, it's just a lot of game samples.
Yeah, so that's a big goal of mine right now. Is just to get reacquainted with people that I may have lost contact with, or you know, just by not being at their shows or just not being around. So that's been a big goal of mine the last few months, especially now that the album's about to come out. And you know, it's a good time to kind of re-establish yourself with the community. You know, there's a lot of great, brilliant-minded people here that are, you know, just looking to just, you know, whether it's going to be successful or not, they're just passionate about doing it because they get a thrill from the creation.
So it looked like the future is IS, because you know feedback's kind of always in a form of limbo. You know?
Yeah, just with leadership issues.
But like, just real life happens, man.
Yeah.
But IS like probably gonna be like the thing, just because they have at least continual events and people really like playing live.
But that's what keeps people together.
Yeah.
And that's an important catalyst to remember. So what Steve's doing is like a blessing. And I'm very, that's another thing I'm thankful for. It should be a separate category. So I mean, just categorize everything all at once. But that was just the Imaginary Stereo is a godsend for me, because now it's one of those things where, you know, when you plan out, you have to contact venues almost 6 months in advance now to book shows. Yeah, well, it takes 6 months to get shows now, or it takes a long ass time. And, you know, Steve just being able to just, honestly, I mean, I've met him a couple times. I didn't really know him too well. Maybe went to one of his events, or I don't even think I'd gone to Imaginary. He just was willing to accept me, and just off the merits of my live show he had caught like once before. And it's just I'm very honored to be a part of it. So, with Imaginary Stereo, actually, another thing, you can definitely leave this in. I actually messaged each one of those artists, like, you know, personally, one-to-one messaged, you know, probably about a week ago, just thanking them for being on the lineup. And I actually personally suggested for Brainwave and Devers Plexis. I'd done shows with them before, but yeah, no, just I guess Geysa, Parker Lewis, and who the fuck's the other guy? I'm forgetting someone else.
Or from IS or something else?
From the IS show, yeah. Jimmy, yeah, Long Tongue, yeah. Xylo. No, he's a good guy too. I met him recently. Yeah, I met him. Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, if he hears this, you know, I doubt he'll hear it, but if
that's
he does,
part of the original trio. Me, Xylo, and Tomas.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, I wish.
We almost had the birthday show happen. We were gonna play back to back for the first time in years. That used to be the lineup in San Antonio.
If you guys want to do a back to back set during Xylo's set, by all means, I don't mind. I give you guys. This album definitely kind of lends itself to that too, to just do whatever. It's very free form at times. It's inspired by stuff, but it allows more experimental kind of just free form creation. And so I think that's what kind of goes really well with, like, you know, the beat producer crowd, even though a lot of it is, some of it's pop in direction, some of it's more ambient soundtrack stuff, some of it is floor to the floor dance music, but I think the scene is, even the Feedback Alliance has evolved over time to where it's been more expanded. So like different trends have kind of come around, different production styles have hit, and, you know, people are just trying new things. And I think it's a great time for an album like this to come out. So I'm actually very excited about it. And if whatever response I get, you know, yeah, it should be an interesting one.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Did you do 3 things or?
Oh.
I can let you get away with it.
I said Feedback Alliance.
You elaborated.
Yeah, I gave you some winded answers, and the other one is just I am thankful for all the creative projects I see coming out that just keep all the awesome games and movies. They just keep me going to spend money at the movie theaters. Shout out to the media. I'm very thankful for media. It gives me an escape from my own regular everyday life. Gives me something to look forward to, whether movies coming out or games coming out. You know, I don't. It's something that I look up to just as equally as like any significant event in my life, but it's just I spend a lot of time in media, so I feel like it's something that I should be thankful for.
Where you see yourself 3 years in the future?
3 years. I mean, that's a future that I don't think I'm ready to discuss just yet. But
private
but I don't know at this time fully of everything that's going to happen yet. But it should be interesting.
CVM and Flux.
Yep.
Perfect day. What is the perfect day?
Didn't have to use the AK. Perfect day? I don't know. That's always depending on my mood. Or, I mean, we're all creatures of habit. We all want to have social interaction with others. But
sometimes I think I'm a parasite. That's why I do things like this.
Oh.
Siphon energy. That's why Uber doesn't pay well, but I'm like, I like it. That just gives me mad random people to siphon energy.
Yeah. Makes sense. That's a cool thing. I mean, and it's not like talking to random customers at work and they're trying to haggle and hustle you and shit. But no, this is a little different. But that's cool though. Yeah, so I guess a day that keeps you busy, but you know, you're also able to kind of focus on doing something that's productive. I guess productivity is a big thing of mine nowadays. Or at least like working towards
adult
a goal.
Life. Let's go.
Well, not even, or lack thereof, or just making progress in something. Yeah. Whether it's you watch an episode of a TV show, or you're working towards
progress is progress,
or leveling up, or you know, in a video
ESP,
game,
baby.
Yeah, or just doing something like even just IR leveling up. You know, you acquire a new skill or you learn something new, and so that's all stuff you gain experience points for. So I see that as like ways of productivity. It doesn't have to be concrete all the time, but it's still like personal. Like success is just one of those things that's a personal definition of, you know, how someone sees themselves as being successful. Whether, you know, they're playing in front of like, you know, 100,000 people at a festival or as a musician, or if they're just happy to have been able to pay their rent from like a job or been able to accomplish something much smaller. I mean, public perception on success, that's a whole other animal, but just on, you know, your own
deep thoughts, man.
Yeah, I think this is a problem I have. I think about shit way too much.
It's not bad. Though a lot of people accuse me of that too.
Yep. That's why I'm here. That's why I was
gonna say that's why I'm single. But I'm part of it. But here's the final question.
All right.
The boss question. What is the question that I should have asked you but didn't?
Yeah, this is the boss question.
Yeah.
What's the biggest takeaway experience you will have listening to this podcast or some other podcasts from the aLrboosh?
How do I ask you that? What's the biggest takeaway?
Yeah, I know
from this or other ones?
I meant I'm asking you. I guess. I mean, it was like there's always like when you listen to something or watch something, it's like. What is the reward? What are you going to remember from it when you're talking about it like a year later, or, you know, like what we talked about
moments
a couple of TV shows.
It's moments in time.
What are those key moments in time that are going to strike back and resonate with you?
Life, though, is like these are little things that make life kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was talking to this person last night about their album, and they mentioned two things, and I was like, I remember those two things. You know why? Because we did a podcast together, and you told me already. So it's like I kind of knew, like, it's cool. Like I learn about people. This is a hack. I don't really even remember the original reason why I started this. I started this for something. Probably the same reason I started music and all these things. This excitement thing of now I said I'm fascinated with creating reality. But yeah, at some point I was fascinated with creating podcasts. So before I did this, I had two other podcasts. I really just like making podcasts. Now it doesn't thrill me as much, but just because probably I hate post-production. This part is cool. I like that. I hate post-production.
You're thankful for post-production. That's something to be very thankful for.
Yeah, I guess some of it. But what was I saying? This thing. Yeah, we got to talk for like 2 hours, you know, and like everybody else who came before you, like some of those people, like Diego Bernal, you know, like He's in the House of Representatives, you know, in the Congress over here, the local one or whatever.
Yeah.
For San Antonio, but he you know, he took an hour out of his day to talk to him. Granted, he makes beats. That's really why I know him. But
he's in a political position.
Yeah, Diego Bernal. He's in like the 40s. If you want to hear that podcast, but
holy shit,
you can also just type his name and hear his music. You know,
that's fucking awesome. I love it.
And he's Mexican, so it's very like you hear the Spanish in his beats and the samples and all that.
Probably some really cool rhythm sections. Yeah.
So I mentioned the Mexican because like you hear it in the music. It's very like out in front. But but he took an hour in his day versus like I probably wouldn't have talked to him without this. So this is like a cheat code. People give me their time, you know, like, and I get to poke their mind. Who else? You know who gave me their time? Like I dropped this guy's name more time than like raindrops on the water. But fucking Nether friends, you know.
Oh yeah, you've talked about this guy
all the time. So I don't even, you know, the
money
guy. The album a week guy, yes. And every topic, right? Because he does have every album. But anyway, like he gave me his time. For 2 hours, I got to poke his mind, like, yo, how this work, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, you know, the answers are always disappointing because it's the journey within, really, you know? But, and especially with his journey, because his answers are kind of like, I just do it a lot and it works. And, and it does. And it does. So unless he's really lying, like that there's a secret and he just doesn't want to, but I don't think he does, because, you know, he says the books he reads and everything, and it kind of like makes sense for that person who would read that book. But it's just funny because some people are like, well, I did this, that, and he's like, nah, I just put it out there and it worked. It's like, but either way, like that guy gave me his time, you know. He didn't have to, you know. So like, let alone that my friends give me their time. So with the friends is cool because we get to have deeper conversations that we maybe don't always get to do,
right?
And with the not friends is cool because I get to have a deep-ish conversation with someone who probably wouldn't have given me their time. So this is like a cheat code hack, you know?
No, yeah, for sure.
Tomorrow I might do it depending on how I feel and if she's free. Like I might do From the Field, like Kimmery. So.
Kimmery. Oh, From the Field. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
She kind of she's like a super artist person too. So it's like those would be a cool mind poke.
Yeah.
But yeah, just people
cool
like
idea,
that
though.
give me their time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I did one with Steve a long time ago when this was starting. So
Steve Wilkinson?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That one you can hear, but that was the early days when I was just like the first 5-ish to 7. I think it says around episode 7 is the first interview, but probably 1 through 6 and maybe 8 and 9. It was just me and my friends from New York and who are around America. So bullshitting. So like, which is cool. But then after that, it became like a different guest every time show. And that's really what it really became. Yeah. He's 12, Steven, right? I still remember some of the OGs, like their number. And but I was like, yo, let's do a podcast. He says yes. And somehow that night drug on where we just hung out that we didn't start till 4 in the morning. So it's not like, it's just literally 2 guys hanging out. But like we were making barbecue and doing all this and like live streaming on Twitch that instead of just like literally podcasting any of that.
That's definitely Steve.
Yeah. So it's cool, but it's just a hangout session. It's not like the other ones, which is fine.
Yeah.
And it can still be fun. But yeah, I was just warning, like, it's one of these things not like the other. Plus in the beginning, I'm still finding myself and shit.
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to do this?
Yeah, this is kind of a mix of like interview meets like, you know, conversation.
I like both. Because I like both. I want to learn like those life things. I like that real shit because I feel like sometimes we don't have those conversations. Yeah. I think that some of that shit's important.
Or what people say, and you know, if anyone listens to this, you know,
and they do. It ain't like thousands or hundreds.
Yeah,
but no, people do hear it. I got a few people who hear the YouTube ones, and I got a few people. It's funny, they only like pick one. Some people like the videos, even though they don't watch the videos, but they just like it on the YouTube platform. Yeah, and then I got some people who've never seen any of the videos. They just only hear it on audio. And you know what's crazy? Because I uploaded an audio one, and I don't know what's going on, but I checked the audio one and like today, and I'm like, I haven't posted I don't know, like a month or 2 a podcast, and it's like downloads, you know, like granted, again, the numbers are real low, maybe a download a day, 4 on this day, 5 on. I'm like, of old episodes, I'm like, someone's hearing this audio. Maybe because the audio's on all platforms, people just want to hear shit. Someone's hearing this show, so even if it's just a little bit at a time, like someone's hearing this shit. So like. It ain't a lot, but somebody will hear it, you know? Like,
yeah. Just like that mixtape. the mixtape that went beyond.
Nah, see, so funny enough, the music numbers don't continue moving. Like, at least for me. I can't speak for your mixtape.
Mine, not really, yeah.
But yeah, the podcast keeps moving, at least on the audio end, which is kind of interesting to see. How slow it might be, it just keeps moving. Versus the music seems to die after a certain time, you know? Yeah. But I don't know. That's depressing. Keep doing music, people. But
on the real, though, it's like, do you make the music to enjoy the creation process of it, or are you just doing it because you're trying to get famous?
So that's a good question, and I think I'll be able to answer that by the end of this year. Okay. Because the last song, so like earlier this year, you know, I'm having this thing, and I really wanted to switch to music earlier this year, but then the concerts took off again. Like, people started paying me for some of them, and then I was getting excited by some of them. So I was like, fuck, I had no time for music. That's why I've just put like a high paywall on concerts now, because it's like, dude, there's only 3 ways I want to do concerts right now. Like, I streamed one for the IS, maybe IS 10. You weren't there. It was at Brew and Brew. I streamed that one. So it's on their stream, and they put the stream on YouTube. I gave them the raw footage.
You'll see me a lot more imaginary stereo.
But they you know, had they done that years ago instead of just starting last year, and like maybe I was here, I probably would be down to help them. But like where I'm at in my life, I just gotta change a few things. You know, I'm trying to fix me right now. You know, I've told Steve. And I'm still down for everything, you know, he doing. I always help him pack anytime I'm there. I probably always will anytime I'm there. But who knows where I was going to ask shit. Someone who doesn't do drugs or not. Sometimes I'm like, what's happening? Yeah. But to be fair, I didn't sleep today because I did sleep, but I'm resetting to day hours. So I'm a little in the tired mode anyway in my head. Right. But what was I going with that? Don't know, so I'm singing now, but still not coming back. So I'm gonna just freestyle for a little bit.
Yeah. You got any final thoughts? Be a good time to think to wrap.
That is the last question. Not question. I usually ask you for final thoughts. But before, I used to say, where can people follow you?
Find me anywhere, any social media platform. I really like to. Spotify, I think, is going to replace SoundCloud eventually, and I think now
it kind of has already.
Yeah, it's just quality control. But now, like, they're not going to let artists directly submit to Spotify anymore. So I think SoundCloud's going to make a resurgence. But no, I love.
But you can still use the distributors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, DistroKid, TuneCore, etc.
Yeah, I've been using CD Baby. I'd love to use DistroKid, but anyway, whoever you use doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm on Spotify, SoundCloud, Chris Big Money.
He's on everywhere too, so Apple, just in case.
Apple Music.
Let's keep those two equal, I believe.
RDO, Deezer, Napster.
Yeah, those aren't equal. Yeah. Think Spotify, Apple, etc. This works for you.
Yeah, just Chris Big Money. You know, so I think SoundCloud, and like I don't use Twitter anymore, but yeah, I still Chris Big Money, no spaces.
They can't contact you. It's pretty much they can only hear your music at this point. That's what you're trying
I'm on
to say.
Facebook. You can find me there. Just search Chris Big Money on Facebook. You can send me an email. It's chrisbigmoney@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram if you want to message me through there. I have an aversion towards social media for reasons I talked about earlier. But let me see. I still use it, but it's just something that I'm trying to balance the life between being plugged in and unplugged.
I get it. I just heard a whole podcast about that. It's pretty.
Yeah, link me that. That's the kind of stuff I like to listen to.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, for sure.
That shit significantly helped change my life.
Yeah, because that's the issue I'm dealing with these days. But yeah, just any of the normal conventional channels, you know, just Facebook, Instagram, Spotify. Yeah. You can even just Google Chris Big Money, and then and it just
power.
Yeah, it just shows right up, and then it's chrisbigmoney@gmail.com.
Dude, so
put my phone number in here if you want, but
no, let's not do that. Yeah. Alright, so I don't know where I was going with that long-winded thing, but pretty much you had to ask me, do I do it for the famous or whatever?
Oh, no, it was just more of a question. It's more of an audience question, really, is, you know, it's like, is that something that I've realized that I'm really making music so I can be around other people that make music and have, like, some friends I can share like-minded interests with.
The original reason why I do everything. And I'm going to find out what music, because sometimes I think, so earlier this year, I got caught up. I don't want to do a tangent again, but basically, my friend told me, when's the last time you made music? I told him August. He's like, you don't make music no more, because clearly you're not making music, you know? So, like, and it's been just slow hits here and there. Like, so I see all my friends getting better when they do music. But like I said, I want to try hard in music and then see what happens. But then also, since I have dwindled away, I also want to find out if I even like it to that degree anymore. Do I even still like making music? Maybe I don't. Maybe I just like rapping, and maybe I'm gonna be that guy like where I was showing you that clip. Like, all right, you made a beat, cool. I'm gonna rap on that beat and leave. You know, I don't know, but like I'm gonna find out. But I definitely make all of this shit not to be famous, because I think if I wanted to be famous, I would probably cater a lot of this shit differently. It wouldn't be 2 hours, you know. It would be more short form, or I'd be, you know, hopping on some type of bandwagon, you know.
You'd be trying to like get like more famous people to.
There's that too, yeah, all that shit. I'd like, you know, I like to reach out to people, but you know, I haven't. But
yeah,
I would be doing a lot of things differently. But at the same time, like I do want all this shit out there, and especially like with the music thing, we're putting a track a week. Like I'm like, I wonder, cause like I never tried, and like I never sent my music to any labels back when it was a main thing. But then I look at my homie, and he's not even making a living off of it. But my homie, he had many genres he did, and he got signed to certain like famous trance labels, you know, like he's gotten his music played by like Armin van Buuren and like all those legends, you know what I mean? Yeah. Granted, like still not enough to make your living, but it's like, man, it makes me wonder, like, so shit, like, I wonder if I tried, or maybe my other friends tried, because a lot of us, we went so hard at DIY, I forgot, like, a label was even a thing, because I've just always been attracted to DIY so much, you know?
Yeah. So I didn't even think about emailing labels about an album release. And
so, yeah, like, the goal is not necessarily to make it, but, like, part of me believes, like, man, I bet you if I change certain things with how I do certain things, I could probably make it enough to, like, what you said earlier, pay the rent. And I'm like, I'd be fine with that. I don't need to be no Michael Jackson, but it would be nice that all these little weird creative things that I like to do, if that's just all I had to do, you know,
that's the dream, right?
That is the dream. Yeah. So I would like to at least make an attempt at it, because honestly, even though I have a lot of stuff out there, I don't feel like I've tried one day in my life yet, you know, based on what I believe I'm capable of.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of reasons I have for that too. Is I haven't really accomplished much of anything in my life yet.
But yeah, man. Last words?
Warrior Philosopher Artist new Chris Big Money album drops on July 19th.
Last words. Another plug. Let's go. That's the good last words.
Go for the fucking plug. No. No, I appreciate anyone who's actually made it this far listening to the podcast. I believe that, you know, everyone has their own goals and inspirations in life, and they should always be willing to, you know, document them in some way or another. And that, you know, that's what this whole thing is through the journey for me. And it's just, you know, enjoying all these experiences I've had through all these various forms of media and people I've met over the years. And then, you know, hopefully you'll enjoy it and can find inspiration in yourself to do something similar. So I guess that's, without really putting too much more thought into it, that's my last words for this podcast.
Bacon. There you go. All right, bake that chicken, smoke that turkey. Boosh.
Yeah, boosh.
That's it.